Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander at TFW, and I'm joined this week by the Broly of the podcast. It's Mikey G. Wolf V3.
I take that personally.
Yeah, you do. Especially
Broly
after what we were
sucks,
just
by the
talking
way.
about.
Broly sucks. Broly and Jiren, two worst villains in Dragon Ball that everyone gives a shit about.
Yeah, but you could at least say this. Broly has a much more interesting design than Jiren. Jiren has the most bland design I've ever seen. It's if a generic grey alien got buff and wore a really crappy Power Rangers spandex suit.
Also Roid Rage.
Yeah. So you have to give it at least to Broly. He has a much better design.
He's blind.
Yeah.
He can't. All this time he can't see. That's why he's so angry.
No, I think he's angry because he has the biggest nipples in the galaxy. Or areolas.
Yeah, well, his power is maximumer.
I think I saw an article that said the guy that did Broly and wrote most of the movie said even the guys in Super still couldn't beat him. And I was like, of course not.
No, but like the way it turned into it is that Broly became a meme.
Okay.
Like, there was a line in the... I read this, like, ages back. There was a line in the dub added about how his power just grows infinitely. That wasn't in the original Japanese. That, like... And they just... He became a meme. Mm-hmm. And now it's just like, could Broly beat someone? Yeah, sure. That's the whole thing. So, I know the Heroes thing, they just kept on giving Broly, like, legendary versions of all the forms.
Right.
So he's got like a legendary Super Saiyan 4 and a legendary God and everything else. And
oh my god.
Broly. Yeah, Broly. But he keeps losing to forms lower than him.
Yeah.
I'll never get over that. Oh my god, Broly's so incredible. He just got beaten by normal Super Saiyan Goku.
Yeah.
With the power of friendship.
I still like that movie.
It's a fun movie. Broly's still shit.
He's enjoyable enough for a movie villain.
Let's face it, the best version is the abridged version.
Oh god, well yeah, I mean, come on.
Sexually violent Broly is more fun.
I'd say most of the abridged versions of Dragon Ball Z are the best versions of those characters.
I'd like regular Vegeta and abridged Vegeta to be in the same room together.
Let me ask you this, who's better, abridged Nappa or Nappa Nappa?
What is Nappa Nappa?
Note, Nappa is dead. In the abridged universe, he is very much alive and a meteor agent.
Yeah. Fighter's Nappa.
That's right.
Now, Fighter's Nappa, from what I've seen, is the best Nappa. He has a massive inferiority complex.
For good reason. But we're not here to talk about Dragon Ball Z. That's not our podcast. We're here to talk about Transformers, and a lot of shit happened this week, Mr. Mikey, didn't it?
Yes. Much shit, many fans.
I was going to actually put in the Toyfair, the Wonderfest stuff for this week, but then I had to look at it and I thought to myself, wow, it's almost like America said, no, we're going to have all the good reveals. You can have the shit that we don't want.
You can have Dinobot back.
Yeah.
He's got a panel to cover things.
Oh, you're going to reveal Predaking this weekend. Yeah, have the prototype version. But the colored one? No.
But we had this whole space set up.
Are you making your own LG version or Unite Warriors version?
Well, we'd like to, but you
make this. It's over, guys. LG's dead.
Just like Takara Tomy Mall exclusive Nemesis Predaking.
Oh, don't even say that because that could be a thing.
Yeah.
That could be a thing because Japan loves black repaints. Bless them. Fair enough, though. Let's bounce over, Mr. Mikey, to talk about some magic squares that are actually not squares that are magical, but a toy company called Magic Square Toys. Me and Mikey talked last week about the Huffer that they showed off, and this week we're going to talk about a trail breaker, trail cutter, trail man person, whatever name Hasbro has for him at this point in time. We see... do we see both modes? Yes, we see both of his modes, and a load of other things which may or may not be made by Magic Square. Do we know if... Because in one image where he's in his vehicle mode, there is an Inferno, there is seemingly a Sideswipe and Sunstreaker, I assume.
I thought that was Red Alert, because I think I can see police bars.
You could be right.
But I'm
whatever.
assuming that's just like what's next, because otherwise they're stealing other people's toys and advertising with them, and
That's what I was thinking. It's weird to know that it's like, oh, we're announcing more things. It's like, oh, there's even more stuff that we're doing, which I guess is good. Mikey, are you more up on Trailbreaker / Cutter than you were on the Huffer?
I like him well enough. I don't like the face sculpt.
Okay, what's wrong with his face?
It doesn't look like any version of Trailbreaker I'm familiar with.
I like the idea that this guy's Trail Baker, and instead of
Trail Baker.
breaking, he is the Cybertronian Baker.
This is Trailblazer, the infamous Trailblazer from the editorial at Transformers vs. Visionaries.
Great.
But like he looks more like Rodimus or Cup maybe.
I'll grant you the face is weird, but maybe do you think it'll work better when it's painted?
Well, it'll all be black then, presumably.
Yeah, so maybe it won't show the weird shape of the face as much.
Yeah. Also, I feel like he's got Overlord's feet.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean the new one, the Titans of Jane thing?
Just sort of like the layout of his legs and stuff. He's okay. Mm-hmm. I'm not blown away. I like the fact he's double elbows, but I'm like, yep, still hitting that aesthetic of just lack of excitement for me.
Okay.
Like it's almost like it's 2G1, but people would never complain about things being 2G1. That's just me. I'm the freak.
There's a tumbleweed rolling by somewhere.
Foreshadowing.
Perhaps.
But what do you think of him, Andy?
He again, it's not blowing me away. It looks like a fine representation of a Trailbreaker kind of guy. But as I said last time, like it's the season 3 kind of wacky, kooky designs and more obscure characters, like the super futuristic stuff that I'm more into. And this is going back to like season 1 dudes, and season 1 dudes are fine, but I'm not a big season 1 kind of design aesthetic kind of boy, especially Autobots.
I like the fact he's thrusting the old crotch.
Well, you gots to. If you've got it, flaunt it. They say, don't they?
That's where his generator is for the force field.
The vehicle mode looks pretty good. I wonder how good of a transformation it will be, because like even if they're not the most like out there kooky fun designs, maybe they'll have really good solid transformation schemes.
Because it looks very clean.
It does in both modes, really.
And not super panelly.
No, not really. So maybe there will be good toys, but just for me and you, just not very exciting toys, which is fair enough, Yeah. Mikey, I'm giving you this next story because I'm hoping that you have a synopsis to tell me. If you don't,
I do.
I will be. Oh, good. I was going to be very disappointed and sad in you otherwise.
Yeah, so we've got a new Transformers Legends webcomic. This is quite a long one. And this is a bit of an oddball, right?
Yes.
So, this story is set before pretty much any Legends story. This is not set in the Legends world. It's not set in the Combiner Wars era. It's not set in the Titans Return, whatever. It's set in the G1 world before everything kicked off. It serves to introduce the idea of Optimus Maximus and basically feature all the toys that have come out in Masterpiece and Legends in the last year and a half that haven't made comic book appearances.
Apart from the Autobot Target Masters, who still don't exist.
Yes.
For some reason.
So it's called Slugslinger's Ambition, and it's set in 1980s on Generation 1 Earth. Wheeljack is showing off his new invention, the Transform Supercog, a device that can grant Transformers new transformations and combinations. He approaches Optimus, who's like, maybe you should stop building things that the Decepticons can take. And then we'll just like, no, it's fine. I've got an alarm system. Cut to Overkill and Slugfest killing the alarms.
No, it's the kids who are wrong.
Megatron and Decepticons show up, including the new additions Slugslinger, Misfire, and Trigger Happy, who take out the Autobot newbie Point Blank. Megatron is pleased and taunts Starscream because that's literally all he ever does back in the day. And Starscream protests, saying he's better and you should love me, new planes. And then he gets shot by Slugslinger. The Misfire and Trigger Happy aren't particularly impressed with things. Misfire accidentally shoots Slugslinger, and Trigger Happy is randomly hitting Decepticons Runabout and Runamuck successfully ram through the Autobots' defenses and seize the cog, but Topspin and Twin Twist manage to take those two down because they're jump starters, and they take him. Basically, they think they're fighting Megatron now, and what they're actually doing is fighting Megaplex. Do you remember who Megaplex is?
I don't.
Megaplex is a Machine Wars era clone of Megatron.
Was he a jet?
He was a jet.
Oh, okay. I remember the toy, but not the, in quotations, character.
Yeah, for BotCon, he was done into Dreadwing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So, while that's going on, Sunstorm, going full Jesus on them, because that's what Sunstorm does, takes them out. Soundwave then sends out some new cassettes, including Enemy and a bunch of others. And then Night Stalker, who in this case is an Autobot. I think he's left like 2 or 3 different alignments over the years.
Which one's Night Stalker?
The Black Steeljaw.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, because Soundwave has Howlback, Glit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Glitz, you forget that Glit's technically evil.
Yeah, I mean, in a band, but, you know.
In a drunk doctor band.
Yep.
Because Glit's like the surgeon who will absolutely operate on the enemy.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, and Garboil's there. Isn't that nice? Garboil, the weird blue laser beak.
Oh, I only remembered him as Cobalt Laserbeak because he came in that weird Cobalt
Cobalt
e-hobby
Sentries.
exclusive. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Didn't know he had an individual name.
Yep, Garboil and Hellback.
Garboil is a fantastically terrible name.
Yep. Nightstark is basically trying to talk Ravage down and saying like, "Hey, you shot me once." And Slugslinger then starts shooting people in the back to steal the cog, and then asks Megatron to transform into gun mode so he can finish off the Autobots. When he does, Slugslinger fuses the cog and Megatron to him, turning Megatron into a target master. And now he basically says, "I'm the Emperor of Destruction," shoots everyone, but the way it's phrased here, shoots down Megatron's loyalist and Starscream. And then and then shoots Optimus. Optimus then tells Ironhide, Prowl, Sunstreak, and Mirage they will fight with the power of the secret cog. And it turns out that the 5 of them modified themselves to be a combiner. And this is the first canonical appearance of Optimus Maximus, who then cuts Slugslinger's arm off with a karate chop.
Karate chop, yeah.
Did he need to be a combiner to do that?
Yes, he did, Mikey. Don't you know science?
Yeah, no. Optimus Maximus captures Megatron, but then Megatron sort of emits an energy wave that separates the combiner, leaving Optimus taking him on one-on-one. Megatron gets knocked up after being knocked into a wall, but now his body is turned black, and Wheeljack says there's a quantum surge. Megatron realizes that the shock of the battle has awakened something, decides to call himself Transmetal Megatron.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's like tying into like how Transmetal to Megatron was born from merging with Megatron, so now he's got like a leftover bit of the spark.
Okay.
Because, you know, I know the black is based off of some Japanese exclusive fiction.
Of course.
The e-hobby Destron leader Megatron Black version.
I think I know which one that is. It's where they he had a brown gun handle, isn't it? And they tried to make him look a legit gun.
Yeah. And you definitely couldn't sell that over here.
Oh no.
So yeah, Megatron, who now just basically buggers off to swearing revenge on Slugslinger. To avoid punishment, the Target Master Decepticons flee into space and remain there until after 2011, after Galvatron shows onto the field, at which point they return to Decepticons, and by coincidence, he formally becomes the Target Master, gets Caliburst, and goes through a whole series of events that lead to him getting a scarf and falling through a dimension into a much more interesting universe.
Woo!
And the story is picked up in Legends 55, which came with the Target Master Slugslinger figure, which was the one where he made the raid that turned all the ladies naked.
That's right.
I thought this was a harmless enough story. That is kind of exists because of the fact that the Japanese want everything to do what you want to be in one continuity.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy that they did this. It's fun, but wow.
Yeah.
What a comic.
Loads of people in it. Like I was looking at the TF Wiki page and just like I lost count. Yeah. I absolutely lost count. The thing about this is that I'm glad everything, like, why is that, we never actually had an explanation of Optimus Maximus in the Legends comics. He just sort of showed up one day.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a very real sense of this is before the crazy kicked in. You know, I saw some people go, finally a real Transformers comic. And I was like...
What?
Yeah, I saw that. And I'm more like, hey, it's before things got fun.
Yeah.
Because there's no Megatronia. There's no craziness. Megatron hasn't become a mayor and seen the error of his ways. Like, I don't know. Repugnus isn't like helping Brawn get ladies and then failing miserably at it.
There's no Giga Mega Ramen cafe.
Yeah,
restaurant.
Where's the ramen cafe? The world is not better off without it.
Nope.
So, like, it's a very pretty story.
Yeah, very
but
good.
For me, it's just kind of like, this exists because of the cultural nature of the stories over there.
Makes sense. Makes sense as well why it's a free website comic rather than a pack-in with anything, since it's just a story kind of tie-in kind of plaster, I guess.
I mean, it must be, if you haven't been reading these, or if you're not familiar with the background, it must be very odd to come to the last 2 panels.
Oh my, yes.
Why is he tiny? Why has he got a scarf? This seems tonally dissonant from the events that are going on screen. Oh dear! But
I mean, next to what I can only assume is a Sega shop. You see how there's an E, a G, and an A. That really looks like Sega.
I think that's probably because, you know what? That's for like Sega's store in Triptychon, I suppose.
Probably, yeah.
Because remember, it's all in Triptychon's like built into Akihabara now.
That's right.
There's a lot of buildings in Akihabara these days that are actually alive. Oh dear! I mean, did you like it, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's not the ball-bastic, like, what the fuck kind of story that I kind of love at the moment from the Legends line, but it was nice, it was enjoyable, and, if you think Sakamoto can only do the kooky art, it shows that he can do some really good G1-styled artwork as well. I liked it, it was fun, but not his best stuff, at least not the stuff that I love.
No. Would you like to take us on?
Sure, this isn't what I'd call, personally, very interesting news, but for those interested, it seems like this is going to be a theme, because last year, and I think the year before, we had the Masterpiece Plus series, which do the, in quotations, animation colored versions of, and then we had Red Alert, and we had Lambo, which was Sideswipe. Now, this year, we seem to be getting a animated colors version of Prowl. And it doesn't seem to... Because I don't own the figure, I didn't notice how many differences there were, but instead of translucent windows, the windows are now like a blue translucent color, which is, I think, quite nice. And apparently the window has the deletion of the highway patrol text that was on the doors. That's not on this version now. Did you notice any other major changes, Mikey? I mean, you don't own the toy either, so
no.
I think this is quite difficult for you.
His colors are a lot sharper. I think that, like, thing is, he's gone simpler because the original one was more Diaclone, because that's what they were kind of going for, this weird mishmash.
Yeah.
So I think this is just like this straight deco, so much more simplistic, a lot less like official looking stuff.
I think it would help if in the promo images, if he was next to the official Prowl that's already out, just so you could go, that's the changes, that's the differences. I was wrong as well, by the way. It's not translucent blue plastic. It seems to be... Actually, it looks translucent in some pictures, and in others it looks like a reflective kind of metal, or metal color, I should say. Yeah, it's nice. Looks nice and poppy. I don't know who goes out of their way to buy a Prowl at this point, because he's been out for a while now, right?
Yeah, he has. I mean, I don't know, like, people like Prowl, at least. Something I always find interesting is how many people like cartoon Prowl, and I could never figure out why. Comic, like Marvel comic one, at least, there's a baseline for a personality there. But apart from the fact he was voiced by someone familiar, who was Prowl in the cartoon?
Well, who was any of them?
Sure. Like, he doesn't even have the one-dimensional character, though.
No, no.
He's the guy who's always there, but never did anything.
And is maybe second in command sometimes?
Was he?
Sometimes.
I always felt it was more like Ironhide or Jazz.
Ironhide or Jazz. I think sometimes in like maybe 1 or 2 episodes it looked like Prowl was. The leadership structure of the Autobots was very fluid.
Let's face it, him dying was not like a major loss to their, functional elements.
No, it was his most defining feature as as his organs boiled.
Yeah, actually, they became a lot more organized after he died.
Technically, I suppose. If you're interested, Masterpiece 17 Plus Prowl is apparently due for release on September. He will be a Takara Mall exclusive, which I think is in line with the rest of the releases. And I think most of the people had said that they seem to release this figure around the same time, which I think was the 27th of September each year. So probably plan, if you want it, plan around that if you want it straight away, or if you can wait, then wait, and you're dandy. Mikey, what things have been appearing in the UK this week?
Yeah, sightings of Power of the Primes are finally hitting, and outside of sort of like early, overly expensive places like Toy Planet, because Smiths have received their copies of the Deluxe and Voyager and Leader waves.
Mm-hmm. Have they got the Legends?
They don't. They
no.
don't.
Okay.
No. They haven't stocked Legends and Smiths in years.
What about the Prime Masters? Have they popped in? Did you say?
Nope.
Okay. So it's Deluxe and up, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
In my experience, Smiths hasn't done anything smaller than a Deluxe in a good long while.
Okay.
At least not for the Generations line. But yeah, so they were found in, where was it? I think it was Woking.
Did you say Woke King?
Woking.
The most woke place in the UK.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're popping up everywhere across the thing. I can often confirm that at least the Deluxes and the Voyagers are out in Ireland. Mm-hmm. They're in Limerick, they're in Dublin, they're all over the place. And yes, people are noting that the line is cheaper than the Titan's Return line.
Not by a huge amount, it's like by £1 or something, right?
In Ireland, the Voyagers are about €4 cheaper than the Titan's Return ones.
I'm pretty sure I saw Colin Duff put up a picture on the Twitter, and it had Cup, the Sergeant Cup, and he was like $18.99. And I think offhand, I don't have the image to hand. I'm pretty sure it's like 17.
Here. 17 and 19 is how much they are, but the cup's on sale here at 18.
Oh, right.
Because Smith, but I'd still he's still dearer.
Yeah,
than the new toy.
It's weird.
You can price match that. You can, seriously, I'm not actually kidding. If you go into a Smith's or a Toys R Us or anything and you see that, especially Smith's, if you're after one of the older Generations figures and you don't think it's fair that you should be paying more, even a little more, for an old toy than a new toy, just take them both up. Take one of the Power of the Prime ones up. Take the Generations one, the Titan's Return one you're interested in, and say, excuse me, these are from the same line. Can you price match them? And sometimes they will. I would honestly say do that for the Voyagers more than the Deluxes. The difference is greater there.
What is the price difference there, Mr. Mikey?
Well, in Ireland, you'd be paying 25 versus 30. No. Woof. In my one, they were 28 and they were 32, 33 beforehand.
That's a decent chunk of change difference, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's, food or petrol.
Yeah.
Not a lot of petrol, but some.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would spend that much getting there if you're traveling any distance. But they're all out there. I've seen all of them. I didn't see the leaders, but they are on the website.
Yeah, I know Mr. Tricky picked them up, and we talked about that with him on the Skype call last night. So they're in Liverpool-ish area as well, I suppose, wherever Tricky's from.
But yeah, hey, they're getting Wave 2 in America, and we're just starting here. I look forward to us not getting Wave 3. Yep.
Stu already has, Wave 2. He's already got, Battle Trap and Battle Slash or whatever they're called. So they're out there, and Florida seems to be a bit of a dead zone in sometimes for releases. So it's do you find it weird how quickly America's pushing this line out?
I don't know. I think it's hard to tell. There's a couple of months between Wave 1 and Wave 2.
Usually there's about 3 to 4 months from what I remember from previous years, and this one seems less, but
I'm wondering if they're trying to get something out of the way so that the Bumblebee line doesn't have competition.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that it might be a retailer thing, give us all these, so then when the Bumblebee comes out, we only have Bumblebee on the shelf.
Maybe you should sell off all your other movie toys at a reasonable price then.
No. How about we up the price on them?
Just out of spite.
Oh, well.
Anyway, but Andy, take us on.
Yes, this could go into Crappy Corner, but it can also go into, wow, really? These are coming back? As new Mighty Mugs, yes, Mighty Mugs, have been shown. Hasbro is apparently relaunching, for some ungodly reason, Mighty Mugs. And of course, it's no surprise that they're going to have Transformers in there as well. They don't transform, which isn't super surprising. So they're kind of missing out on the Transformers gimmick, but there's an official description which I'll read to you. So here is the description. Get ready to turn heads with Transformers Mighty Mugs figures. I'm sad that there's no trademark in there as well. Call it a mood swing or call it a mood spin. Spin is all in capitals for some reason.
Spin!
I don't know. Okay, whatever. These Transformers...
Yeah, they think they're being clever.
Are they? Okay. That's dumb. Transformers Mighty Mugs figures feature a push and turn mechanism that lets fans change their figures' facial expressions by pushing down on the heads with 3 different expressions and classic character designs. These figures will have fans doing a triple take. If there was a camera, you'd be looking at my disappointed face, just staring blankly.
Because there's 3 faces, Andy.
And triple changes, Mikey. Yeah.
Possibly a triple takeover.
Fuck me. Characters include characters who you wouldn't suspect. We have Nor the Sharkticon, we have Octane, and we have Overlord. Oh, wait, no, we don't. We have Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Megatron. What a fucking hoo-ha. Jesus. Who else was it gonna fucking be?
Gary.
Oh, my God.
Autobot Gary.
I think Phil, our friend Phil Scott, has one of these, but it's the
old ones.
Not the old ones. He has a Captain America one, and it has the triple face changing gimmick. So it's not a new gimmick. Maybe it's them relaunching it fully. And I guess having them with 3 expressions gives them a little more to it. But I still have to ask the question, like, Funko Pops is still a bizarre thing, which I will never understand. But I think they've eaten up the market, and I don't see if these things will fill any gap in it. Would you agree there, Mikey, or am I just being overly critical on these things that don't do anything, just art pieces at best?
I have to start with something.
Uh-huh.
I adored these.
Oh, okay. Well, they're $9.99.
I know. That's probably that's how they're going to outcompete Funko.
How much Funkos?
About 15, 20.
Oh, Jesus.
They're not
okay.
cheap. But I adore these. I loved I don't mind the art vinyl thing. I think the art vinyl thing is fine. I think Funko Pop is kind of shit because they don't do art vinyl. They do a body design that they barely paint, and then they have a generic face with no expression and no character. And if it wasn't for the hair, I couldn't tell you who it was. This is like the face designs they've gone for are amazing. I mean, like, they've gone with, what if animated Optimus Prime got really old and really sick of your shit? and then you kicked him in the balls. That's a different picture. There's 2 different pictures there. And then you got Starscreams. I love Starscreams. He's got, what is it? Bland. Oh god, I'm taking over. Oh god, Megatron's got a gun. Or rather, Megatron is a gun. Bumblebee. I love that Bumblebee's packaged in the face that is, sticking his tongue out at you.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just perfect. And Megatron's is the best. Megatron's is just the best. Because one of his faces is him with the shit kicked out of him.
Would you buy?
I would buy. If I saw that Megatron, I would buy. At €10, I would buy. I really like these. This is the kind of stuff I like. Art vinyl-y, this is the kind of stuff I could get. Or like those, like, they were small, barely posable figures the Japanese were doing.
Yeah.
What were they called? They came out like last year or the year before.
Oh god, I can't. I know.
Something hero, or something like that. They're pretty much they were like art vinyls with minimum posability and just better sculpting. This is just fun. Like, these are some really well done faces that have lots of personality and give you an idea of the character. And that's what pop vinyl don't do. Pop vinyl just sort of blankly look into your soul.
Yeah, that's right, because they have no expression. They're just holes for eyes, aren't they?
Yeah. So, yeah, these are cheaper, and in my opinion, they're way better. So, they're probably smaller as well, but I don't care. If I see one, I am totally at least getting the Megatron.
I don't think they're gonna do well though.
No, they won't, because they never do. They're going to be on there, like art collector shops, and they'll be mostly bought by people who are walking along and going, I remember Transformers.
Yeah.
But I am not a guy. I'm the guy, if I see the Megatron, he is absolutely bought. Him and Starscream. And
If
they
there
will
is
never
a
be
Starscream.
They will never be out of their screaming face or punch me in the dick face.
Would you want Starscream to have a crying face?
Yes! Oh man, he needs one. He needs one with just tears streaming down or a sweat drop or something.
You know, to go with the Megatron screaming at him. Emotionally destroying Starscream.
Yep, good times.
Mikey, do you want to take us on to, I guess, as we slowly kind of advance into the Toyfair news?
Yeah, so first up, we have our first hints of the Transformers fan vote. Now, some of these stories are going to we're going to be taking information from the overview at the panel and combining it with previous news stories. It's just because otherwise we're going to be repeating ourselves a lot. So the first teaser went up for the 2018 fan vote. This was a short video, or sort of GIF thingy more than anything else, showing Victorian, Trypticon, Optimus Primal, because Windblade doesn't exist.
I was going to say, why didn't they show Windblade and then a mob of angry people with pitchforks and Drift with an angry load of pitchforks as well? Not exactly the same, but kind of the same.
Yeah. And just saying, like, hey, we were going to get it. Now, they revealed how this is going to work.
Oh.
The vote's coming up in the next month or so, I believe. And the way it's going to work is that you are going to be voting on 2-packs. Not Tupac. He's gone. I think he's gone.
Is he? It was a frame job, man.
Him and Biggie Smalls. Smalls? Oh, my God. I was watching South Park a while ago. It's in an episode. Don't judge me. I don't know if Tupac's dead. I think he might be, though.
I'm going to say yes. I don't know.
I'm offending someone horrifically right now. But yeah, so they're going to be new 2 figures and right, you're voting on which 2 characters. But for the most part, they're going to be new molds. They said there might be some heavy retooling, but these are going to be like as new as possible. So, the character packs are going to be Needlenose and Trax, Spinister and Wheeljack, Impactor and Mirage. Which is odd, in a way, because the others are Autobot Decepticon.
Yeah.
And then Impactor and Mirage, I don't know. So yeah, the vote's going to be up via hashtag on Facebook and Instagram, and starting on the 20th. Oh god, it's this month. So it's a couple of days from now.
That's like 2 days from now from our recording.
Tuesday. So everyone get ready to start voting this time around, I suppose. Andy.
Yes.
What do you think of this 2-pack idea, and what do you think of the options?
Well, first off, thank you, Tricky, for letting me know, because I couldn't find where this info was before Mikey told me, and I was like, oh yeah, there it is. Good work, Mikey. Good work. It's almost good. It's almost good, but every single pack has one character I want and one that I don't give a fuck about. Spinister, yay! Wheeljack, Needlenose, woo! Trax, Impactor, nom nom nom. Mirage, fuck's sake. I wish you could just mix and match, so it could be like Impactor and Spinister, or Impactor and Needlenose, or Spinister and Needlenose.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think we need a Wheeljack figure. I mean, out of the 3 Autobots, he's probably the one I'd like the most. Mirage, no. Spoilers, he's dead at the moment, so we don't need him. And Trax is such a non-entity in the comics. Again, who really cares?
I kind of would rather have a Trax, to be honest.
Well, get out.
Well, partly because I like the idea of getting the 2-pack of the brothers. That's just,
that makes sense. That's the pack that makes the most sense out of these 3.
And also because Trax hasn't had a figure since like 2009, 2010, and I don't think much of his old deluxe. I didn't think much of it then. So maybe an updated version. Although, maybe...
Oh, no, Wheeljack had the Combiner Wars one, didn't he? I forgot about that.
I'm also nearly certain these will be Combiner-compatible figures, but...
Yeah.
But, do you know what? Needlenose will probably just be a re-release of that bloody club figure.
I'd be okay with that.
I'd be okay with it. But, that, I would probably go for set number 1. Like, as much as I'd want an Impactor, I've no interest in a Mirage. And the same with Wheeljack. I've none.
This is always the problem with picking the names, because who knows what the fuck they're gonna do with it? Is it, like you say, is it gonna be new molds, or are they, especially with Needle Nose and Spinister, both of those were club guys, so they could just re-release them, which would be really easy for them to do and kind of boring. I'd like to see maybe an Impactor more, because we've never had a toy of Impactor before.
Not a new mold.
No, they've never done a toy of him. Ever. Not even the one that you're thinking about right now, listener. They didn't do that thing doesn't exist.
They're all repaints.
No, it's just no one made it. No one repainted that Bruticus figure. No one did anything. That Fall of Cybertron Bruticus figure just didn't exist. Didn't exist.
What about Toxitron?
Nope. Hang on, which Toxitron we're talking about?
The one that was a combiner.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, because I was using Prime.
But he had an Impactor to go with him.
Did he?
Yep.
What was that Impactor? Oh yeah, that Impactor was
Roller.
Roller. Yeah, not Roller.
Well, he's always Roller to me.
Yeah.
But,
oh crap.
the one that died.
Yeah, shit. Chris really likes him.
Rook.
Rook. Thank you. Jesus.
There
Yes,
we
he was out of Rook. Yes, I completely forgot about him. Just like I forgot about Rook. So there you go. I don't know. It's a hard choice. I'm always more of a con guy, so either Spinister or Needle Nose would be more up my alley. You know who they should have had, but they couldn't because they've already got a figure of him out. They should have had the other dual Decepticon Target Master, but they already have over. Crap, I can't remember his name. Overpower. He's a redo of Hardhead.
Quake.
Quake. Thank you. Jesus, names are off my brain today. I don't know.
Not off your brain.
Yeah, completely off my brain. Be interesting to see how it goes. Be interesting to see how angry people get.
Very.
But, I mean, I wish I could be super excited about this, but people made mistakes before and have continued to make mistakes every time with these fan votes, in my opinion, because we still haven't got a Deathsaurus.
Nope. Haven't got a Deathsaurus. Because, the people's choice.
Yeah, and we chose some awful colours for Victorion, and then Japan fixed it.
Yep, they fixed it hardcore, but they fixed it.
That's right.
But to be fair, the saddest thing is probably going to be the month and a half of no women this time. That's going to sort of explode from the threads.
I could see that.
Because people are pricks.
Yeah, I could see that.
Trax is gay. It works. Oh, that's how we'll piss them off. Everyone vote for Trax because he's gay.
And that's the only reason you should do it.
And that means that we can now have Needle Nose for yaoi incest fanfiction.
Oh, good. That's great.
That's a thing. You know it's a thing. I don't even have to do research to know that's a thing. And now we can have them. The unspoken masses.
Yeah. Is it worth talking about the next story, which is John Warden comments on the Transformers movie
these
franchise?
are the same story basically. The next two,
okay.
But it is worth commenting on that because there's some stuff to. Is there stuff?
Right, well, I'll take the first part, which is the information about the cinematic universe, and you can tell me what John Warden had to say. Because, everybody, Transformers the Cinematic Universe is over.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Dum.
Slow motion effect. So, the current movie series is to be rebooted, basically. Bumblebee seems to be a end cap to those movies. And sure enough, the company has removed Transformers 6 sequel to The Last Night from its upcoming list. Additionally, there is no Transformers live-action movie listed in the foreseeable future, which in their kind of brackets estimation term is 2021, which feels like years away, but it'll come very quickly. Whether this may come to pass or not, who knows, because, they might be able to fart out something and get a movie out by then or not. You know what Hollywood's like. Furthermore, information on the new agreement from Paramount will have Hasbro having greater control of the movies, including greenlighting the movie projects. And then it says 100 to 125 million will be spent by Hasbro for the filming and TV content of in 2018, which is interesting. Yep. And it goes on to say the Bumblebee the movie trailer or sizzle reel made its debut to the investors at the event where this was all kind of announced, which was the Toyfair Hasbro Investors preview. Unfortunately, no one, unless you're an investor, you didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
Movies from Hasbro seem to be suggesting that G.I. Joe and Micronauts will be 2020, both in 2020. And then another movie project for 2021 will be, if it's not the return of Jeremy Irons, Mikey, I don't want to see it, because Dungeons and Dragons will apparently get a new movie. Didn't Yui Boll do a Dungeons and Dragons movie, or did he just do Dungeons and Dragons-esque movies?
Oh, who cares? I wouldn't care if Yui Boll caught fire. I don't care. Keep track of his cinematography.
Yui Boll cares, Mikey. Yui Boll
fights people in the street because they give him bad reviews.
Yeah, because he's not
prick.
He's not a pleasant man.
Oh my god, no! Like anything you've heard about Yui Boll, anything you can imagine about Yui Boll is all true.
Yeah.
He is the worst kind of scum.
There's apparently another movie slated for 2021 as well, but it just says Paramount / Hasbro.
Film.
Yeah, like what does that even mean? That's just a placeholder.
Event film makes me think crossover.
Ew.
So I'm thinking maybe, like G.I. Joe Micronauts crossover.
G.I. Joe Dungeons and Dragons
that
crossover.
I'm trying to figure out how they'd work in there.
Well, the G.I. Joes would just gun down everybody.
No, just TNA shows up. Just like, oh, y'all fuck now.
G.I. Joe is there here. And then they just launch a nuke through a portal and blow up Tiamat.
Hang on, that's Pacific Rim.
Yep. There we go. There's your crossover.
Some people are assuming the event film is a holdover in case they decide to do a Transformers movie for 2021.
That could be a thing. It could be a new property. We know that, what were the ones that were said that
Rom
aren't going to happen?
and
Rom and
Mask.
So,
they're both shelved. That doesn't mean they'll never happen, kind of thing. I suppose.
That's what I mean.
But
it could mean Visionaries. No, it won't.
It might.
I would be.
Never know
be
now.
Shocked.
I was shocked a few months ago when I found out they were getting a comic, and I was like, "The who?"
I think Visionaries would have more chance of happening if Dungeons and Dragons does well.
Yeah, because of the magic spin.
You know what would be really dumb? And I think Hasbro does these. They do. They do Dungeons and Dragons, and then in the same year they do Magic the Gathering.
Oh no.
And they can either do Magic the Gathering as like an in-universe, like all of these cards, it's just a reality that exists. Or
Hasbro funds new Power Rangers movie.
Or they could do the best thing and have it very much like the old He-Man movie where kids are transported into the Might and Magic Magic the Gathering movies.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting would happen.
And then it's basically a Yu-Gi-Oh game.
Do you know what it'll be? It'll be the old Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
Oh, that'd be neat.
That's what it's going to be. And you'll have what was his name? The bad guy. Vector?
Vector.
No, he was the bad. What? My voice.
Vinegar.
Something that sounded very 1980s.
Yeah.
But
he had one wing, which seems really ineffective for flying, and a horse.
Yeah. Yes,
2 wings.
Yes.
But yes, you could be right. It'd be interesting to see what happens with that. But Mikey, there were reactions to this, weren't there?
Yeah. First of all, Andy, before we go into the reactions,
okay,
and spinning off into John Warden, a lovely man who can't speak in public to save his life.
Oh, poor guy.
No. Also, secretly, this quote, what's coming up has nothing to do with John Warden.
Okay.
Because it's actually been... basically you got a bunch of quotes mixed in with each other. It's complicated. But so before we go into it, Andy,
yes,
it's been 10 years.
Yes.
And there is no Transformers 6.
No.
There is no Return of Unicron. There is no more Murder Prime.
No, that's true.
Like there may very well be no more Bleep Boop.
No, yes, very true.
And all those other memorable characters.
Mm-hmm.
The sex jokes could be over. The uncomfortable rape references could be over. The random who are you and why are you in this movie saying hilariously unrealistic things and telling me it's comedy. What? Deep Wang may never come again.
No, it's true, yeah.
I'm adjusting to this. I have to admit, I'm still in a phase of adjustment, but I mean, yeah, I mean, like people want, like I what do you feel for this, Andy? Because I don't know if I feel anything.
It's nice to know that the Micheal Bay films are over. I think as a property that isn't just going to be shit on, it's also a very messy kind of continuity of movies that have no continuity.
Yes,
or have the
physics.
loosest, physics, the loosest sense of what continuity means, as things are always forgotten or changed in the next movie. I think
is Sam dead?
Who cares?
Someone does.
Shia LaBeouf's career cares. I think
dead.
it's time to have a reboot because it was so messy at this point, and a reboot might help freshen the idea of Transformers, because look how many times Spider-Man's rebooted within both of our lifetimes.
Yeah.
Before the Tobey Maguire one, there was not a 60s, like 70s, 80s kind of one, right?
There was the 70s, 80s ones. There's been a huge amount of cartoon series. There's been Tobey Maguire. There's been Andrew Garfield.
Just talking about the movies. There was that 70s, 80s one, then the Tobey Maguire, and then they tried to reboot it with Andrew Garfield, which was horrendously bad. And then they did the smart thing and did Homecoming.
Still haven't seen it.
It's good. I like it anyway. So, and I think for the most part, Homecoming did pretty well.
Yes, it was very well received.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that this will be the same kind of idea with these movies, and when people go and see this new brand of Transformers movies, they will go in with that kind of hope and that kind of idea, like they would go into a Spider-Man new movie. At least that's what I'd hope from the general public. But we'll see. What about you, Mikey? You said you weren't really sure.
Well, I mean, I don't feel anything for it because, it's some movies that are utterly dreadful are going away.
Yes.
I can't say that's emotionally affecting me. I'm not glad they're going because, hey, they brought in money. But I am happy kind of not to have to see another one.
That's the thing. Do you think a more successful, well-made movie will make less money?
Oh, I don't know. Like, the way I've always
Mikey,
defined...
Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh.
That didn't make a lot of money.
No, but it was an animated feature, so people just went, kids, and then walked away.
No.
What a Transformers well-made movie has to worry about is that it brings out, we're doing Transformers, and the undercurrent is, we're actually putting effort in.
Yeah.
And people don't go to see it because they expect more of the same shit. That's what the real damage could be.
Yeah, they want just the crap, effectively. They want the explosions and the nonsense. But maybe that's what we'll get. Maybe the crap and nonsense we get will be more... the Too Fast, Too Furious movies, or Fast and the Furious movies, which are not good, but they're at least entertaining.
Well, something I've always said is that Transformers and toy movies, but Transformers is the toy movie at the moment. The only other real competition is Lego, and that's operating on a different playground. But Transformers has been operating in what I would call an early 2000s superhero mindset.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And it has been in that mindset 10 years into the superhero renaissance. Which is, we can't take this seriously. It has to be dumb. Why would anyone take something to sell toys seriously? Blah, 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 blah. Let's make it as dumb as fucking possible because it bums on seat. Explosions. Superhero movies, for those of you who didn't really get into superhero stuff before Iron Man and anything like that, they used to be quite terrible. I mean, not bad, quite terrible. The highlight were the first two X-Men movies. And you could get some joy out of the Spider-Mans. Spider-Man 2, I would still say is a decent movie.
Yes.
It's very camp.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and Tobey Maguire is not a great Peter Parker.
No.
He can't be funny. He's not a funny man. But they go back and see him and just listen to the kind of dialogue that's used in there. Like, it is... Go back to 2003 and watch the Hulk. Actually, don't. Don't self-harm like that, children.
Jesus, Mikey. Awful advice.
It's a terrible movie. Terrible, terrible movie. But they were a different animal than what we were getting. Iron Man reinvented things. It took the foundation that X-Men 2 made, and then X-Men 3 shat upon. But it took that foundation, and then it expanded beyond it. And... that's what we got. And then we got things that were just like, yeah, it's a silly concept, but we can take them seriously. Or we're not assuming that you can't do something with this idea just because of its source material.
Yeah.
that's what I think if they come back, Transformers movies have to do.
But do you think they will do that? That's the question. I think, granted, it depends on the director.
It depends on the director. Actually, I think the fact that Hasbro are going to have more creative control possibly than Paramount is not a bad thing.
No, definitely, yeah.
Considering Paramount originally didn't want the Transformers talking.
Oh my god, yeah, because that would have been a good... Well, to be fair, they kind of got that with Bumblebee.
Yeah, but that's where Bumblebee came from, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that's where they came up with the idea for Bumblebee. That's why he couldn't talk. It was a spin-out idea.
Yeah.
But Hasbro, I remember, because it was just like, well, why do they talk? And Hasbro was just like, because they do.
Because that's what makes them characters.
No. Like, they're robots, right? They don't need to talk. It's like, but they're the Transformers.
Wall-E didn't talk.
Yes, he did. He said directive. And he said, Wall-E.
Chihuahua.
No, you do not besmirch.
Chihuahua.
You do not besmirch Wall-E. What a comparison to that.
It's a fair comparison because
no, it is not.
That's clearly what that's what they were going for.
Yes, but I could compare, people who want a socialist left-leaning government to Stalinist, Stalinist Russia. They were both kind of going for the same base concept. But it's still not fair.
It's not a fair comparison, Stalin.
Yeah, Stalin. God, get your shit together. Not everything has to go to Siberia.
It's always fun to bring up Russia.
Hey! Everyone else is at the moment.
It's true.
But yeah, so I have hope that the next movie might have a bit more creative flair to it. I think Bumblebee could affect this greatly.
Yeah, definitely.
Depending on how it's constructed and how much money it makes. Because, you mentioned Kubo, it's got Travis Knight involved, but it's also got a writer who's got not the best history. So, I think if Bumblebee does okay, you'll probably see that 2021 event movie will probably get replaced by a Transformers movie. Mm-hmm. I think if it doesn't, I don't think you'll see a Transformers movie within 4 years, maybe 5. And I think that's good. I think kind of going away long enough that people forget how shit the movies were is not a bad thing.
No. I mean, how long of a gap was there between not Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield? No, Andrew Garfield and
a couple of years,
the new one was quite quick turnover.
Yeah, but that was because the whole thing just fell apart midway.
Yeah, but Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, there was not a huge gap, but there was a small
3 or 4 years,
right? Yeah,
3 or 4. But then with the Homecoming gap, there was no gap. There was 2 years.
No, it's like Marvel came in and said, "We got this."
Marvel came in and said, "Give me back my boy," and walked out.
You've abused him too long, Sony.
And they were just trying to grab him and accidentally grabbed Eddie Brock and just pulled him back. Save for us, Eddie. I want to go with them. No. I want to go. You need to move backwards and forwards in front of the camera. Can I have the suit? No, you can't. Yeah, but then John Warden struck. Oh, dear.
So what did John Warden have to say?
Yeah, so Bleeding Cool News came in, yesterday, and they put up a statement, and they said they asked John Warden, brand manager of Transformers, for his opinion on whether or not the movie will be rebooted, and they were told, Mr. Warden said simply, don't believe what you hear. Don't worry, right?
Ah, the Illuminati. I understand.
The Illuminati, and they were, and then this spread like wildfire, following up from the wildfire that spread, and people.
Hang on, what John Warden said, or the Illuminati?
Both.
Oh my god!
Assuming that Warden works for the Illuminati.
What do you mean, assuming?
And yeah, people started going like Warden was backtracking. Oh, the whole thing was blown out. Like people were attacking the mods on various forums, saying you were misreporting things.
Good.
And then TFU came in, because on their Twitter they updated, quote, shocking that Bleeding Cool got it wrong. Nice story with no attribution of the quote or context. Nothing I have from the Transformers interview session we did even comes close to this quote. # Fry is shocked. This was followed up by TFU then posting a direct quote from their interview, which was with John Warden and Ben Montano. Question, recent announcement regarding changes for the movies, changes for toy lines, cancellation of series. It's a long spiel. It kind of highlights that John Warden is a very good designer and a very good head of his department and a very bad public speaker.
And that's fair enough.
That is fine. He wasn't very good at HasCon. It's not his job to be good at this thing.
Yeah.
I did get a bit of a laugh watching him demonstrate the Predaking during one of the sessions.
You can see the dynamic pose as he just kind of leans him slightly to one side.
Yeah, and he's just like, I know a lot about this toy. We know you do, John. We know you do, but please hire a guy. Hire a guy to
get Chris to do it.
Yeah.
Chris would be a good hype man for a toy con.
Yeah.
Don't hire me, because I'd be like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's grand.
That had more enthusiasm than I did, to be fair, Mikey. It's grand.
And like, John's response was fairly innocuous. It was, rebooting the franchise after Bumblebee. For sure, our team will work closely with Paramount and Machinima moving forward with the next chapters of the stuff. No decision is being made independently from film partners, so we're all working together. Toyline looks fantastic. We've got Cyberverse coming. We've got Generations. We've got a new trilogy. We're going to talk about that in a bit. Any shifts, we have to deal with it. This is one where we are going to collectively pause, so what's best for the next story, and then put a toyline around that. In no way it distracts us. Basically, he gave a company answer.
Yeah.
Which basically said that Bleeding Cool were kind of talking out of their ass.
Isn't that kind of like, they don't have a good reputation though,
no,
do
they are the Daily Mail of comic book news media.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then TFU on their Twitter even gave like a breakdown of things, saying like, the quote we gave came from post showroom. They asked us to refrain from asking questions during the showroom, and Bleeding Cool is saying they're getting it from the actual show floor, and they can't have. It wasn't in a presentation, so I don't know where they got it there. Neither Ben or John have the job title of brand manager. John Warden is VP of brand marketing and design manager, respectively. So it's like, did you know? Okay. But yeah, they make stuff up. They make shit up a lot. Like they got involved when the sort of sexual assault scandal hit the comic world. Bleeding Cool did some very unpleasant, very conservative, almost the Sun defending Brexit level of reporting at times. I didn't read a lot of it, but what I read was not pleasant. And the guy who runs it, like, nothing good has ever been said about him. But but it set fire to the arguments again, just as they were starting to die off 55 pages into the thread. 55 pages in 2 days, Andy.
Oh dear.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the movies are going away, and I'm going to miss Murder Prime. Maybe we'll get a comic sequel now that, that could be written by John or something like that, but the most important thing is if John wrote it, he wouldn't write Murder Prime.
No.
And I'd like, John, if you're listening, please write Murder Prime.
He doesn't.
Just like I don't know. Maybe he does. He's been honest and complained about us not getting him on fast enough, so. He was sitting at home listening, and when are they going to ask me? But, if we can just get, like, something where everyone else is normal, and in the background you have him just, like, slowly stabbing dead kittens or something.
Oh, God.
And saying it's for the people. He's saving the people.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, Andy, any thoughts on modern journalism?
It's a thing. I'm not too fussed that the movies are going away, like I said earlier, but that's just a thing. Shall we just move on, though, Mikey?
Yes, take us on.
Yeah, we got some Super 7 Transformer figures revealed at Toyfair. Super 7 make lots of weird little kooky things, I suppose you could say. So what did they have to show? They had Super Buckets, will be great for Halloween. So these buckets, which just G1-styled heads with holes in them. There's a Megatron one, which is probably the best out of them. There's an Optimus Prime one, with his little antenna things kind of mushed more into the rounded shape. And then there's a Xenomorph one.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work because it's not the Xenomorph shape.
No, it looks weird.
Yeah, it's like what you would imagine, like if they had babies, like proper babies, it's what you would imagine the head of a Xenomorph baby to look like. Like more rounded and less defined, less like a giant penis, which is what they are. So, if you didn't know, you do now. They also have 12-inch Super Cyborgs, and I'm sure you're wondering what they are. They are billed as a new interpretation of collector figures with visible insides to highlight the internal mechanism of characters. Optimus Prime and Megatron versions are shown. And to me, they look like less cool versions of the Ultimetal series.
Yes.
Like, incredibly less interesting.
Yeah, like if Ultimetal sort of like built a test mold and then went home.
Or they were told, like, they made the Ultimetal series and they were like, okay, we're selling this for, like, what was it, £500 or something? And then someone told them, what if we did this for $30 instead? And they went, okay, we can do that. We've got it. Nailed it. Again, they're G1 styled. It's exactly what it says on the tin. It's the G1 shape, but the torso is translucent, so you can see their, in quotations, internal workings, whatever that really means. And they don't seem to really have much articulation, if any. It looks like they might have a bit, but not a huge amount. They also showed super deformed keychains, which is self-explanatory. They are versions of G1 characters with large heads that you attach to your keys.
Yep. In
chain form. There's 1.75-inch blind box figures, because that's the thing everybody does now. More traditional proportioned versions of classic character Transformers, standing just around 2 inches tall. They remind people of the old decoy figures from the 80s, if you're old like us and remember those things, which I do. Did we ever get those in the UK?
Don't know.
I never saw them, but I don't think I was around the time when they were out. They are more traditional proportions to a point.
Not really.
Yeah, I wondered why it said that. They
look like someone put a heavy book on them.
Yeah, again, toddler versions of the characters. Grimlock doesn't look too bad, though.
No, but Grimlock's like... I like how the safety they've gone for with both the keychains and the decoy fellas is just do the dinosaur.
Yeah. Oh, well, to be fair, I think that's what most people want out of their Grimlocks, isn't it?
It's certainly, like, I would like an option.
No.
But, he's one of the few characters where people do want both modes.
Yeah.
And if they want one, they usually want Dino.
Usually. And with the dinosaur, it looks like he's asking to be picked up and hugged, which is quite sweet. The last thing are enamel pins and drinking glasses, the latter featuring G1 box art, and they are shown. Do I see them? Oh, yeah, it's just the old school box art of those very, very strange toys. And they are on a glass. There's Optimus, Soundwave, Megatron with his giant trigger cock, and Grimlock. And then the pins are a Megatron head laughing, G1 cartoon style, an Optimus Prime head just kind of looking off, a Soundwave in cassette mode, a Grimlock that looks more like the toy in a kind of roaring pose, and then the last pin is a Transformers nondescript toy box. Like, there's no art on it, but it's the shape and the color and the design of what those boxes are. So they're fine. These are what I'd call the kind of weird, kooky, crappy kind of things.
Yeah.
Is that fair, Mikey?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind a keychain, but that's about as far as I'd go with it.
No? Would you? I mean, I could see maybe having a little pin somewhere on you, like a little Grimlock pin.
Little harmless things you see in shops and you go, oh, that'd be nice for a $5 or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of this stuff is. They are the, here kid, shut your face, there's something to play with, don't stab yourself in the eye with the pin kind of toy thing. So, yeah, do you have anything you want to talk about there, Mikey, or do you want to take us on to Cyberverse and its showings?
Yeah. So let's move on. So Cyberverse had a bit of a news blowout, to be completely honest. They had an official announcement revealing the format of the show. Again, we've already known that, but they had I think it was IO9 or Gizmodo or someone who did the news reveal. Show will be 11 minutes long, Bumblebee focused, characters, whatnot. But we got toy lines and we got designs. Now these are following on, it's been revealed, following on mostly as an RID follow-up in terms of their aesthetic and the size classes and everything else they're aiming for. However, they are going to be distinguished because they have, what's it called? They've got a fancy attack for it, but it's an attack feature. So every figure has some sort of spring-loaded automatic feature to them. One of the Optimus' chests opens up and reveals the Matrix. One of the Starscream, as you transform him, when he finishes transforming, he launches a bunch of missiles. They don't go anywhere. They just sort of stick out like there's smoke streaming from them.
Really? They're not actually firing missiles?
Nope.
Oh, that's sad.
But yeah, so we've got several classes. We're going to have Scout, Warrior, Ultra, and Ultimate. Also, by the way, at the same time, we got the sort of test line design for the Evergreen / Cyberverse Grimlock.
Mm.
That's a really good design. It's like, before we talk about the actual toy, the base design, I really like it.
Okay. Do you mean
Really
for
good.
both modes kind of thing?
Yeah.
Right.
Looks awesome in both. Like, it's going to probably be toned down quite a bit when it's in Flash cartoon form, but I like what I'm seeing in terms of like a base 2-dimensional design, you know?
Okay.
So, in the Scout class, which is weird, it's a weird class because they don't transform. What they do is they go into sort of a halfway mode, which has an action feature.
Oh, yeah.
These are small legend scale figures. So we got Bumblebee, Megatron, a Grimlock with no faceplate, and Starscream. Bumblebee transforms into half a car that is swinging at a blade. Megatron is a tank with a body on top, which is swinging a mace. Grimlock is some sort of demonic dinosaur beast that bites.
Hmm.
And Starscream is a Gerwalk that is flailing wildly. It's like, don't touch me, Macross missile spam. Oh, dear. Andy, what do you think of these guys?
They are clearly not for me. And that's fine. They just look kind of cheapy, but I suppose that's the kind of price point that they're going for. So, yeah, okay. I'm not a huge fan of them, though, to be honest. I don't like any of the Evergreen stuff that's been shown, or Cyberverse stuff. I don't like any of it.
Nothing from the line at all.
No.
Well, you're going to have a fun time for the next few minutes.
Yeah, I am.
So, moving on from there, we have the Warriors. Now, again, these have an action attack. That's what it's called. They have an attack gimmick. They're not mostly revealed, but they are, looking in their build quality, they're equivalent to the RID Warriors for the most part. We've got Optimus, Bumblebee, Starscream, and the reveal of Shockwave. Now, Shockwave is probably the one to talk about in this, or at least the one to talk about first, because he has an incredibly G1 robot mode.
Yes,
Like-
the robot mode's really good.
And he turns into what I've deemed a Tachikoma that has let itself go.
It's the most pathetic transformation I've seen, because he seems to just go on all fours, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, well, I'm just like, he goes down, you push in his gun,
Mm-hmm.
and you flip up his chest.
Yep.
And that is his transformation.
Seemingly, that seems to be what it is, yeah. It's so lazy. It's so basic, and not like, it's not basic in a way that it turns into a fun vehicle. It's basic, and it doesn't turn into anything. You know?
Yeah. I really like the robot mode. Like, I really do. I think it's simple, but I think it's very effective. There is a certain incredibly stupid charm to the vehicle mode.
I'll take your word for it.
It's like, we're not even trying. He can't be a gun, but we want him to look like the G1 thing. Because they said that they're trying to really up the G1 aesthetic in these toys to kind of bridge the gap between fans and things.
Right.
So, but it's like, but we need him to look like that, but we need him to transform. So I would have gone with a tank. Or a cannon or something. Something that doesn't look quite like a handgun, you know?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But, yeah, it's... Next up, Starscream. I mean, I look at him, I see the RID Warrior mold. I like... They seem to be following a lot of the same aesthetics.
Yeah, I could see that.
Bumblebee... Oh dear. The Autobots are... Yeah, no. Bumblebee's kibble-tastic.
Which one are you talking about? The Ultra Class one? Or
The
one?
Warrior. The
Okay.
Warrior. Like, I don't think much about him. What about you?
Yeah, again, yeah, he's got a lot of bits kind of going everywhere on him.
And finally, Optimus, who is the absolute weakest. He's terrible. Optimus is... Oh, no. Optimus has no midriff.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I could see myself picking up the Shockwave just because I like that robot, but anything else, it would be a stretch. But I'm also not a fan of the Warrior stuff as well. I don't think you get your money's worth.
No, there's only like a very, very select few that I think look like they're decent toys. And when I say decent toys, I don't mean for the price they were being sold at either.
Next up, we have Ultra, which is your sort of... It looks like 3-step, but one of them is supposed to be 14-step.
Really? Which
Yes,
one?
and it's the one that you would think would have the least steps.
Bumblebee?
No.
Oh.
Well, yeah. But yeah, so we've got Starscream, or as I'm calling him, Gaugai Star, because he has Star Gaugaigar's giant missile pod things, engine things. And yeah, he's the one where you flip him over, those missiles, they all come out in like white rods, and like they're shooting off in all different directions.
Sure.
I don't mind the base design. Like, from what I've seen, the toy looks terrible. And that's just like, but that's having seen them do a demo of it.
Yeah, right.
It looks really floppy.
Right.
Like super, super floppy. Bumblebee, someone stopped trying.
At what point do you think they stopped?
When they had to do something with the hood.
Yeah.
The entire back. And finally, Grimlock. Now, Grimlock's design, the only thing I don't like about Grimlock is the sort of half Glasgow smile he's got in the Rex mode.
It's like they've tried to make the dinosaur face kind of cutesy and smushed it.
Which is odd, because like the way his action thing works is that flames come off his back and he shoots out fire. But again, it's not flying off. But I've seen the box art, and that's not a cute T-Rex.
No, it doesn't seem to be.
Like the box art is like eat your face T-Rex that's on fire.
Yeah.
So I'm a little surprised they went that cutesy with him. The robot mode I think is like a nice little design. It's very kibbly at the back, which seems to be a thing here. But I like the base design. I love the idea that Grimlock has Macross missile span.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
And I zoomed in. They've gone with the teeth and the faceplate.
Oh, do you hate it?
I really want to, but I'm making myself not, because also, like, apparently he'll also have non-faceplated moments as well, which is always weird.
Do you think when he talks, those teeth are going to move up and down?
Listen, if you're giving him a normal face and a faceplate, you do not have both of them talk. Like, if I'm watching it and I'm just watching about blah, 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 I will... Oh my god, Dreamwave is dead. It was shit. Deal with it. Don Figueroa is not the second coming of God. Yeah, so moving on from that, we have the Ultimate, which are leader-size figures. These are relatively simple transformations, gimmicky, but they're probably some of the most posable figures, although it's not certain if one of them actually has elbows. I suspect he might. I think they might just be buried in there, but... So one is Optimus, and one is Megatron. Now, I really like Megatron's base design, and I like the certainly base design of his tank. I don't like that face sculpt.
I thought you liked this because of the face sculpt, and he looked so grumpy.
He looked like he's having to hold in a really bad fart.
Oh, see, I took it as he's trying to tell kids to get off his fucking lawn, and they're not. Fucking kids.
Get off my lawn. Apparently his thing is that his cannon opens up. To be like turns into a railgun or something like that.
Kind of like the guy from Cybertron, Red Alert.
Yeah.
That was never a good gimmick.
No, but yeah, and Optimus is kind of just an RID style Optimus with a long head.
Yeah.
And his gimmick is his boobs open.
Oh my god, why? He's never done that before.
No. And there's a little glowy thing inside. What could that be? But yeah, like, a lot of people are complaining about his fists.
It does seem weird that they are covered.
Yeah. I mean, again, these are for the Kiddlywinks, but... Which, is something perhaps people bitching should remember.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I could see myself picking up a couple of these. Not many, but a couple.
Ones?
That Shockwave, a version of that Grimlock design. If I didn't get a warrior, I'd go for the Ultra Class, but I would be a little about it.
Right, I thought you were going to say like you were going to wait for another version of Grimlock to come out to see if they would release one later on down the road that would be more in your kind of ballpark.
Because like this is only like must be only wave 1 or 2 because there's no sign of Windblade.
Yeah.
and she is like I think she's the other main character.
Apparently, from what I remember.
So yeah, I'd like a version of that Megatron design. Again, a version of it, maybe not that one.
Right.
But yeah, I think also they're fairly well priced. Like the leaders are $30.
Okay, so about Voyager price-ish. Actually,
Yeah,
less than that.
Yeah, I think that's fair, to be completely honest.
For the amount of work that's going into them, yeah, I think that is a okay price.
Yeah, and remember, these are for the Kiddlywinks.
Yep.
So, there was a bit more Cyberverse news actually tied into this.
Oh?
So I'll just go down. So they showed a test animation of Bumblebee driving and transforming. Apparently it looks like RID, but the animation is smoother.
Well, that's good, because the RID animation was like 3 frames.
Choppy as hell sometimes.
Yeah.
I shudder to think what the people look like. Very much intended to be a fresh take on G1.
Have you seen The Thing, Mikey? That's what they look like.
We don't see her toy here, but there is a confirmed new character, Shadow Striker, who
Oh.
is a Decepticon, presumably at least somewhat based on the old Universe character, who was like Roulette's sister.
Oh, okay.
So that's cool. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, we haven't done a female Decepticon in a toy line since Arachnid.
I was going to say, what about Magpie Robot? And then I went, oh yeah, she never got a toy.
Yeah.
Or
And
an alt mode.
And Legends doesn't count, guys, no matter how much we
No.
wanted to.
I wish
Like,
it did.
in terms of stuff that children will see and go, I want one of those. Like, where's my bike pirate?
Where's my ninja falling over?
Yep.
With a banana on her head.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, so Cyberverse. I'm not excited, but there's a couple. I think it's going to hit the right market. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's going for a very specific target audience. It's a shame the cartoon is only aiming at that audience, because kind of it negates us, but we're targeted with another terrible show. So you know.
You know what? It's probably going to be like Steven Universe or something, actually watchable, and we'll be like, but the show made for us is terrible.
Yeah.
And the kids will be just like, you could watch our show. And some guy, no, out of principle, I shall refuse.
You know, I wish I could believe that, but I find Steven Universe so unwatchable most of the time.
I've only seen a couple of episodes.
It's like nothing ever happens 90% of the time, in my own opinion. There are occasions where they actually do some plot stuff, and then they kind of forget about it, and then do a load of crappy filler.
I'm going to have to sit down to it. I really am. I watched one called Star versus the Forces of Evil.
Oh, yeah.
Not actually bad.
Yeah.
I found it quite fun. Like, she's quite mad, and that appeals to me.
Yeah, it looks fine. It's never appealed to me. I watched the first episode and was like, yeah, okay.
It gets madder, which is good. It also gets sappier at times, which
Sure.
is less good. But
Yeah.
like, hey, maybe you should give that boy who literally set you on fire a second chance.
Woo.
I wouldn't. Personally. But Andy takes on to some Japanese random, not expecting it at their Japanese news, and then you might as well do Generations as well, since there's very little. Or no, you can do the studio series as well, because there's very little to talk about than this Japanese bit.
Yeah, at Toyfair they showed off the Flame Toys Kuro Karakuri action figures, which we've talked about before, and some G1 model kits. So they had the Drift figure. There was Tarn, Star Saber as well, which we've all kind of talked about already.
It's just a prototype still, nothing new.
No colours either. Some
And
close-up
Drift is-
shots, I would say, of Star Saber at least.
Yeah, I think Drift is out.
I was gonna say, it feels like if he's not out, he should be out, and if he isn't out yet, he must be like super close, because we talked about this finished version ages ago. So yeah, there's that. The Kuro Karakiri series, which are the highly detailed posable model kits, from what I remember, right?
Yeah.
Yep. They showed off Starscream and Optimus. Both of these are model kits, as I mentioned, and are originally sold only in Asia, but are now getting a US release, which is kind of interesting, though it doesn't say how they are being released. So, whether that means they're coming to Toys R Us, or if they're going to, like, your comic stores or what, at least it doesn't say in this story. But they're coming, so that may be a good thing, or it may not be. I don't know. And you said you wanted me to do the movie series as well, so I can do that.
You might as well.
Yeah, why not? For some reason in the studio series, they had a giant vinyl record, which had a release of the G1 soundtrack. I don't think all of it, though. Or is it all of it?
Don't know. But apparently, yeah, this is music for the Transformers on vinyl is out in March 9th.
Yeah, weird. Kind of comes out of nowhere.
After someone did an entire recovery and restoration of the music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the figures that they had on show at Toyfair were the Deluxe Class 1967 Camaro Bumblebee, which we've talked about, Crowbar, Ratchet, Stinger, Jazz, Lockdown, Voyager Size, there was Optimus, Starscream, Revenge of the Fallen, Megatron, and Brawl. Leader Class, Blackout, and Grimlock were there, and movie masterpiece Barricade and Ironhide. Now, we don't need to talk about Ironhide and Barricade, the masterpiece stuff, because we've done that. Grimlock, we haven't seen coloured prototype images of him. We saw the one that looked like it was made out of soap last week.
Yep.
So it's nice to see a coloured version of that. So, Mikey, we'll start off with that, because you like Grimlock.
Yeah, I think that T-Rex mode in the movies is really cool.
Yes, how do you think this version of the figures turned out? Do you think it is at least better than the first release of Grimlock? Which is a completely loaded question.
Yeah, that is what, like, is it better than that? Yes.
Let me take my fist away from your balls, Mikey.
Turn your head and cough. Yeah, I think this thing looks excellent. It looks like they've taken a lot from the Voyager Scorn in terms of how the transformation works. Like you can see one of the arms is underneath the chest there. The legs look like they work identically. And they've operating on another scale. I'll be completely honest, and I wasn't expecting to say that robot mode looks fantastic.
It does, yeah.
How the hell are they getting 2 T-Rex heads out of that?
I don't know. It's
because I can
impressive.
see like the bottom jaw. I can see on the left arm and like the little T-Rex arm, so it looks like, you know, like it's all folded up there.
Sure.
That other head must be like somewhere buried in the Rex back, and I don't know.
Yeah.
But the paintwork, if it comes out looking like that, that's amazing.
Yeah.
The sculpted detail is psychotic. Like, if these are on a normal leader price point, holy hell. And I think they are, because I think we saw the prices a while back.
Yeah, from what I remember.
And he's number 13 of the Studio Series, but which means there's still a couple of figures to reveal. Yeah, gotta say, was not expecting to... General opinion of the Studio Series right now, was not kind of expecting them to be the major winners of the whole show. Me. I
mean, does it endear you to buy any of them?
Several. If I had them,
wow.
if I get the cash, there are several I would like to pick up. And
okay.
That is surprising to me. What about you, Andy? What's your opinion of Grimlock?
It's not a design I'd ever want, but I think it is a fairly damn decent representation of it at a affordable price point. There are gaps in the T-Rex mode because physics. Yeah.
That was well timed.
What can you do? But the paint job, like you say, looks... if it comes out like this, because this is, of course, a prototype, if it comes out like this for a general mass release, that's really good. It's a bit boring, but at least it's accurate to the movie. Pretty damn impressive. Again, it's not for us, but it's a damn good solid showing from it. Who else haven't we talked about that had appeared? Because we've talked about quite a few of these beforehand.
We've got better images of Blackout now, and we now, like, someone, like, I found a blog where someone had the entire first wave.
What do you mean? They'd already bought it from China or something?
They had, like, they were putting up, like, pictorial reviews, and they did everyone but Grimlock.
Okay.
And Blackout, he'll come with a really nice Scorponok.
Oh, yeah, you can kind of just see him in a few of the images, but no one focused on poor little tiny Scorponok.
Yeah, but like Blackout, we've seen at least the base design. It's just clearer pictures now.
Yeah,
and they look good.
It feels like he could do with a bit more, especially compared to Grimlock. He could do with a bit more paint around him, or at least some panel lining, especially in his robot mode, because a lot of the grey panels,
they do blend.
They do blend. Yeah, they do blend a lot, and they stand out in contrast to his face, which is being painted in like really nice gunmetal, and then everything else around that is just like solid grayish plastic. It doesn't look bad. It's just kind of a bluish plastic, whatever you want to call it.
I think
it
it's one of those ones that
out.
Look better in hand kind of toy. I think
you could be
in
right
terms of its colors. I think its colors will, when they're not under a photo light and stuff like that, and studio lights and a million other things at a Toyfair.
Sure, yeah.
First clear picture of Megatron.
Yeah, there were two images of Megatron here. We had Megatron in tank mode with metallic paint on him, and then we had Megatron in robot mode with seemingly no paint on him.
Yeah, it's a weird. I'm wondering if that's like I don't know what's going on there. I'll be honest, because I'm looking at the metallics. Seem to be on bits that are in both modes. I'm wondering
don't know.
if that
I don't know
a
how this works.
Either one's a painted prototype and one's release.
Yeah.
Or one like the tank. Let's hope the tank is the main release, and this is what we had for the robot mode handy.
Yeah, it has to be that. But even if that's the case, it seems weird that you'd have if it is the painted version, in tank mode rather than in the robot mode, which is, the eye-catching mode. Because without the paint, the figure, it's still a good-looking mold, but it loses a lot of oomph to it because it's just, boring grey plastic for the most part, but with painted gold on it in the places that should be. So, strange. I'm hoping that it is fully painted with that metallic silver. I don't see why it wouldn't be. What about yourself, Mikey?
Yeah, I'm really hoping it's fully painted. If you're going to have this, this could be your terminal line for this series of movies, go all out, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
You got nothing to lose at this stage.
Well, that's not true.
Let's see, who else was new?
Brawl was new.
Brawl was new. He is, for me, the weakest one of the lot.
His head is massive.
His head is huge, and his sides are not.
Yeah. Is that a problem with the toy, or is that a problem with Brawl's design in general? I don't know.
I think some of it, he might be a wee bit mistransformed.
I mean, this is possible. We'll say this now. This could be for any toy that we talk about on this show today.
Oh, yeah.
Because we all know that toy fairs and stuff like this, sometimes they don't do the things that they should, which is fair enough.
But I just... He looks messy to me, messier than I was expecting.
Yeah. Especially from the images. The images we originally saw on the back of the box didn't look that bad.
No. The tank looks fairly decent, but it's just also like Brawl is such a movie one design.
Oh, yeah.
Messy. Incredibly movie one.
Yeah.
Let's see, who else is new? I mean, what do you think of him?
Like I said a number of times, messy, massive head, just not super good. I mean, better than the deluxe version we got from the first movie, but I don't think it looks as good as the leader toy from the first movie.
No, the leader's on another level, I think.
Yeah, it's a different scale, of course, but I think that still looks like it probably might be a better figure. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is your ultimate Brawl. Have we talked about the Jazz figure?
No, the Jazz is brand new.
The Jazz looks 1,000 times better than the Jazz that we got for the first movie, but that was because that Jazz was the worst pile of shit ever. Right?
Yeah, I had it, actually.
Yeah, it was terrible.
That arm transformation was a nightmare.
Yeah.
But not only does it look better than that because it was, it's made, but I am surprised by how solid that toy looks, considering how much I'm not a fan of that design.
Yeah.
Like, the original racist robot. But he looks really solid. And well sculpted. The arm transformation is 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
Seriously, well done to them on that guy. I mean, to be honest, it wouldn't have been hard to improve in it just because, engineering's moved on, but no, I like it. In all seriousness, I do like him. Who else is new?
Lockdown.
Lockdown. I'm not sure if I like Lockdown or not.
I think for the size and compared to his other releases, I think this might be better. I'm trying to remember what the Lockdowns beforehand looked like.
Yeah, he was very lanky.
Right.
This one's a bit stockier, and the colors are definitely better.
Yeah. I mean, let's be fair, it's not as good as the third-party one that's coming out or came out, but that's not fair.
No. I think one of the problems I have is that I don't think that design translates well to plastic.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think it's too dark and a bit too messy.
You
the head
like
sculpt,
the colours kind of thing.
I think the head sculpt is amazing. That is the movie Lockdown head, to a ludicrous degree. And hey, he's got a hook hand, which is good.
Yeah.
To be honest, if you want a good movie Lockdown, you go Revenge of the Fallen.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
That's amazing. That's a great toy.
Yeah.
And he looks like so metal. Who else?
That's a Kei-Zama design right there. I'd be surprised if she didn't design that figure.
Yep. Optimus is the first time we've seen good pictures of him.
Mm.
People are freaking out about him, like, in a negative way. I don't think he's that bad. I mean,
It just seems weird that they're doing this Prime when there are better versions of this design from a few years ago. Maybe that's why maybe freaking out is maybe extreme term, but I can see why people don't like it. I don't like the fact that he's clearly got two giant black hinges in the middle of his chest, and his chest is so wide. At least in these images, it seems like it stretches out for miles, and then it kind of just zips in quickly for the waist. So it looks a bit wonky, but this is deluxe size, isn't it?
Voyager.
Is it Voyager? Okay. It looks like it's deluxe size.
What else we got? Starscream. We knew about him, but it's our first time seeing a good picture.
He's very unpainted grey, isn't he?
He is. Well, I think it is actually a painted grey.
Is it?
Yeah, I just think he is grey.
Maybe you're right.
He's like a deserty grey. The mold looks pretty solid.
Right, yeah.
It's just like it's movie Starscream. I would rather have the deluxe version if I was getting one.
Yeah.
But also he looks weirdly tall, but I think that's just because he's got chicken legs.
It's got chicken legs.
Chicken legs. Any other ones there that I'm just checking? We haven't. Stinger, Ratchet, and Crowbar. Crowbar
right.
is
No, we've seen Crowbar. Right?
Crowbar is he's a redo of the Berserker mold.
Well, that would explain it.
But he's a heavy retool, like much heavier than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Like he's even got like a built-in ab crunch now.
I tell you what's a shame that he has the same weapons as
Yes.
Crowbar. He should have had like other stupid spiky weapons.
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
Ratchet is brand new mold.
He's green.
He is. I'm slightly shocked he's a new mold, to be honest.
So am I, because to me he looked like he was the exact same one from Dark of the Moon, to be honest.
Yep. And Stinger, brand new mold.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, for a character that didn't do anything.
Yeah. Actually, I for the most part I like him, except for the fact he seems to have an entire car seat on his arm.
That is weird. I'm hoping you can detach that.
I really hope so.
Yeah.
Also, he's one of the more unpainted ones, but I think he turned out pretty well, and his back is made of shurikens.
Yeah, as you do.
As with the other ones, there's a little bit of news to add on to this. Let's see. Lots of new tooling, blah, 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 blah. Toys R Us exclusive Thundercracker is going to be a retool and repaint of Nitro Zeus.
Okay. Is it going to have a new head, do we know?
Presumably. I mean, he's a headmaster, so it's not that hard.
Oh, that's true.
But yeah, the reviews of that toys were excellent. So
of Thunder
of
Nitro Zeus. Yeah, it looked really good. It was just the problem I think we both had was
money.
It's boring color scheme or lack thereof paint.
Yes, there was no paint. So
Yeah.
a blue repaint should be nice.
Yeah.
Also, can his gold chain have a small dog in it?
Oh, what, like Thundercracker's dipped Buster into pure gold?
Yeah, and is now wearing her on a chain.
That's an awful fate for a dog.
Oh, dear. Further on from this, Studio Series will hit shelves officially in April 2018 with Wave 1. However, Andy,
Yes.
if you are interested right now, they are on the Transformers website to buy right this second.
Oh my god.
The Wave 1 Deluxes anyway. So they're Wave 1 Deluxes are Bumblebee, Stinger, Ratchet, and Lockdown. So if you're in America, you can order them on you can order them now, get them like probably Monday, Tuesday. If the shipping's good, going by what happened with Grotesque. So but yeah, I have to say, like, this is the line that impressed me the most this Toyfair. And I was not expecting it to.
I wasn't too impressed. I mean, I think it's just because of my kind of apathy towards the movie, more so than anything else. I think they look like they're decent figures. They're just not for me, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I can see why you would be impressed by them, even again if they're not for you, as it were.
These are one of the ones where the engineering and the design is trumping my interest in the actual characters.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you want to take us on to the next bit, Mikey? Or do you want me to do it? I can do it.
I might as well, just because it's the last bit, and that way I feel like I matter.
You can do the fun stuff.
But it's all the one bit.
Yeah, I know.
Right, so we have Generations Power of the Primes. No, it's not going away. We had quite a bit of... No.
There was
We
a
had quite...
huge fuss about that as well.
Oh my god, don't get me started. Like, at least there was less swearing for that one. But, like, we saw most of the announced toys and revealed toys in physical prototype. Physical form, rather. We saw Abominus combined for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And we got several bits of news. So, they've confirmed that Hunger does use Silverbolt tech, but is an all-new mold.
Which is what we kind of expected.
Yeah. We have a name for the Elita 1 Combiner. Her name is Elita Infinite. Spelled Elita Infin 1 TE.
Whose decision was that? Or was that a typo?
Don't know. I like Chris's response. IDW Elita 1. Of course, she'd skip Maximum Mighty and go straight to Muteki. Because for anyone who doesn't know, the design of the chest in that toy is lifted from the comics. Yeah. Also, the Starscream Combiner's name has not been revealed, but this is purposeful. There is a reason they are delaying the reveal of the name.
Oh.
So I don't know what's going on there. The Elita 1 Combiner is primarily Moonracer, Nova Star, Jazz, and insert figure here.
Is that what it says?
No, it just like if you look at the back, look at the boxes and stuff, you can see most of the combinations. I think she's got like a Terracon leg.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
But yeah, like confirming Firestar, we see her on the show floor. Primal stuff, nothing new. We get to see Predaking, way bigger than the standard combiner. He's a Titan class, I'd expect him to be.
Yep.
5 Voyager class figures, and will come with an exclusive Onyx Prime.
Yes. Yeah, like a Prime Master as well, rather than just a non-transforming lump of plastic.
And yeah, Razor Claw has a matrix and can interact with the Prime Master gimmick under his lion head. Prime Master Quintus Prime will come with Bludgeon.
Yes.
Who will turn into a bludgeoning stick.
Yep, a Japanese kind of giant tonfa. I don't know what they're called, but...
I think Tonfa.
No, there's probably a fancier name for it in Japan.
What? Do the Japanese have giant Tonfas?
I know that while I played Dynasty Warriors, it was one of the weapons in that series. And I'm not saying that game's, historically accurate to China or anything, but I'm pretty sure that is a legit weapon, because I remember seeing like Oni and things in other kind of anime have that big ass stick for clubbing people.
True. They've also got Octo Punch, who will come with Solus Prime, who does not look like a gentle creator of worlds. She looks more like a Seacon.
Wouldn't it be great if Octo Punch is basically a big daddy?
Oh God. Do you know the BioShock audiobook?
What?
Or like a BioShock play or something? PC sent it to me during the week.
Really?
I haven't listened to it yet. It's it was up on YouTube, and I was just like, "What?"
Well, it's an audio drama kind of thingy.
Yeah.
When's it take place?
No idea. Haven't listened yet. But I'm just like, what?
If you remember, and I remember, please let me know what that's like, because that could be interesting or incredibly wank.
Followed up by her husband doesn't know what BioShock is, and I'm just like, your husband's a bigger nerd than I am.
Yeah, that was a big thing. I don't know how you'd miss that.
Mr. PC is a disappointment. Now we have follow-up news. Now, is Generations going away, Andy? Is it?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
We've got at least 3 more years because they confirmed the next trilogy is the War for Cybertron trilogy.
Oh, based on the video game?
No!
No!
None for you, Tej. Tej will remain joyless with his space T-Rex.
No.
But this is new story set in Cybertron launches 2019, part of the 35th anniversary.
Yeah, interesting. I wonder what that means.
Cybertronian modes, I suppose.
I guess, but does that mean that we have Wheeljack as a giant square?
Tetrajets everywhere. Many Tetrajets.
I've heard a lot of people saying Tetrajets, but does it also mean we get like Bumblebee in his weird "I'm not a boomerang, but maybe I am" kind of mode with the wheels on the bottom, which had no purpose?
Space Manta. So the figures we see on the floor, we get to see the Prime Masters. So Bomburst, Bludgeon, Octopunch, and their guys. Andy, what are your thoughts on those 3?
I mean, I like them. I think it's strange that Bombburst looks like he has less of a bat face and a bit more of a dragon-ish kind of styled face. At least that's my interpretation of how the molds came across.
Let's see.
Can you see where I'm coming from with it?
I'm loading up pictures now.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like more... I'd say he's more like a weird dog.
Yeah, no, I could see that as well.
Maybe
yeah,
he's a
like
flying fox.
like a robot wolf or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe they couldn't get, like, bats are immoral or something.
Ah, yes, the immoral bat. I know it
In
well.
Japan, your name is Blood.
I think it's a bit disappointing that he's got the same shitty claw mode as Skullgrin.
Yeah, it's just...
You
Really?
know, it's a reuse. It's a bit of a shame.
I think Submarauder's a gun, isn't he?
No,
I hope so.
Submarauder's a trident.
Oh, that better.
Yeah, I mean, it looks more like a fork that you use for the gardening because of the kind of weapon it is. But yeah, I mean, that's fine. I like Bludgeon. Bludgeon's got some fucking shoulders, though. He's been going to the gym. And I like the fact that he transforms into a giant twatting stick. You know, the most obvious thing for a samurai to turn into, I don't know, might be some kind of giant sword. Nah, he's a twatting stick.
Hit me with your rhythm stick.
That's right.
He turns into Rung.
With Octopunch, it looks like a really good mold, and I really like the fact that granted the weapon mode's WAS, I've no idea what the fuck it's meant to be, but I like the fact that the weapon piece effectively kind of turns into tentacles for the back of him.
Yeah.
That's neat. But I think it's a bit of a shame that his face is just a yellow flat bit of plastic.
Yeah.
Like,
what aren't you? Why? I'd like if that was a maybe opaque, translucent plastic. You could just see the Prime Master tree or something.
yeah, I mean, because on the original toy, that helmet was a hole, so you could see through into his like weirdly misshapen head. Maybe they only want to have like the see-through faces for the Autobot ones,
Maybe.
and for the Decepticon ones, they want to have them fully covered for whatever reason.
And it is fictionally, these are the gods pretending to be pretenders, so it's weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, the entire idea of these fictionally is kind of just messy.
Can we just have something where, like, Octopunch meets Solus? And it's just like, why are you a tiny me?
Under the sea.
That's her answer. That's her only answer. What? Under the sea. Life is better. Down where it's wetter. What? Why are you... What?
Take it
This
from
isn't
me.
an answer.
Jumps out the window. Oddly enough, the Prime Master that goes with Bludgeon would be more thematic to go with Octopunch, since those were the colors his inner robot were for the original toy. Because his little inner robot was a crab, which was orange and purple. But I like the colors on the Prime Master for Solus, because those colors are 90s as shit, and that's only a good thing. So yeah, they're nice. I'm not going to spend full price on them, because I still don't think they're worth the price that they are at stores, personally. What about you, Mikey?
I wouldn't mind a couple. I wouldn't pay those kind of monies,
No.
but I would like to get a couple on sale.
I
Maybe
kinda
mostly
want
the
them all.
Decepticon ones because they're more fun.
Yeah, I kind of want them
And
all
Metal
just
Hawk.
because of Master Force at this point.
Yeah, I'd like the Metal Hawk of the Autobots, but
Do you not want Cloudburst?
kind of.
The exciting man that is Cloudburst, who even in Master Force did fucking nothing.
Yeah, no, I know which one I'd want of the other guys, but that's just because he's a sick man.
Which one? Lander.
Yeah.
The sexual deviant Lander, who
Yeah.
probably had a lot of sex with women, even though he's a robot from space.
Anyone ever uses Pretender Shell, you might want to get yourself checked.
Ew.
Next up, we've got Battle Slash and Road Trap. We've seen Tailgate. We've seen the Terracons. We've all seen, but this is our first look at Abominus.
Yeah.
Right. He looks remarkably laid back.
Yeah. I'll say that a problem with using the Silverbolt mold is the fact that, his thighs are non-existent. They're very thin and whatnot. But apart from that, he looks good and fine, but like you say, very calm. Not angry.
No, I'm a little disappointed by that.
I mean, we
I
kind of knew that was coming, though.
Yeah, his colors pop.
Yeah.
But yeah. Next up, we have Moonracer and Novastar. They're identical. They are the same mold. They've got different heads. The only thing really I want to mention is everyone's really pissed about the backpacks.
Yeah, a lot of people are pissed about the backpacks.
Like super pissed, and also
Yeah.
like you stick the fist into the back of the vehicle mode and it becomes like a booster rocket.
Oh, that's neat.
And like a lot of complaints about like if you just bulked up the designs, you'd be fine.
Oh my god.
Now, I'm going to say these are the same people who are militantly screaming it must be the G1.
Yeah.
And I hate to tell you guys this, but in the G1 cartoon where these two characters existed, this is what they looked like. And
Yeah.
if this is
Apart
what
from
you
the
want,
backpack, obviously.
yeah, because physics.
Yeah.
So if you want the G1, then this is your lot.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, apart from the backpack, I think they both look nice.
Yeah, the head sculpts are better than what they looked like a few weeks ago from the further away shots. I kind of wish with the backpack that it was an optional piece that you could unplug. I think that would be better.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, increase the heels. Because I don't know how stable these figures are going to be when they're not stood on a plaque nailed to a plastic base, you know?
Yeah, I was thinking that myself, but I'm
Yeah.
hoping for the best.
Same.
Like I love Nova Star's Firestar's little like hand cannon thing.
Her gun's so good.
Yep, that's what you get.
Yeah, it's neat.
But the thing is, isn't she the one who was with Inferno?
I can't remember which one was paired up with which boyfriend.
I think it was either Inferno or Paraglide, and if it was Inferno, I just liked the idea of her like blowing stuff up, starting fires, giggling, and running away. And he's just running after her, going like, "For God's sake,
you're killing children, children!"
She just giggles. That's a really girly, like stereotypical. Like kicks one leg up and then runs off and starts another fire. And the last one to see here is Optimus Primal. Now. This is pretty much everything we need. This is the first time we've seen the toy, I believe.
I think so. I mean, we saw prototype images. I think they were CG renders back at ASCON, but yeah, this is the first time we've seen anything bar that.
So they had two versions of the Optimal Optimus. They had the Beast mode, and they had the sort of core robot. We didn't see any of the vehicle modes. I think he still has them, so wait and see there. I think he has them. Like, they had some back shots, and he looked like he might have wheels.
I thought he only had 3 modes. I can't remember.
Yeah, like, I think he had, like, a jet.
Yeah.
Because he had, like, the jet and the sort of ground tank thing.
I can't remember the
show.
ground tank. I don't think he has the ground tank in this, though.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Because I do not see any giant wheels.
No, me neither.
So, Andy, like, this is our look at Optimus Primal. What do you think?
I don't know. I hope that you can put away the big gun chest for the robot mode, because that looks not very good.
Never liked that.
No, I think in terms of a dumb action feature, it's perfectly fine, but I don't want that to be, and I can't remember, there's probably CG images to show that it's not the case, but I hope it's not a thing where it has to always be there, otherwise that would be a disappointing thing. Otherwise, he looks like he should, I guess.
I'm a little disappointed in the Optimal Optimus, I have to admit.
In what sense?
In the sense that I have this complaint relatively frequently, but I think it's pretty poignant here. This is our first whole new gimmick, whole new reinvention of the character, and it's the old toy with slightly better articulation and less chrome.
Is it better articulation?
Yes, he has like ankle tilts and stuff like that.
Does he? Because I'm sure that toy had pretty okay articulation for the most part back in the day, right?
You couldn't use most of it.
Could you not? Oh, it was articulation that existed, but you could do nothing with. Okay, fair enough.
You could do a fair bit with the gorilla, but the robot, like if you tried doing anything over, he went.
Okay, fair enough. Right, I've never had that toy, so I was only thinking of pictures, but that's fair enough.
Like the only there is some different design work. Like the gorilla face is completely different.
There's again no expression to it.
No, but it's got giant nose.
Yep.
But I have to say, like the runaway success for me, the Optimus Primal section, that looks great.
He looks quite neat
for a guy who turns into a skateboard.
Yeah. He looks like he does the job he should, and he looks like he has more articulation than the Rodimus does, or the Hot Rod's internal little robot, because that head can't move on that figure. Oh dear.
Great head sculpt.
Yeah, solid.
I think like Orion, is technically as good, but this guy isn't limited by having to turn into a truck.
Yeah.
since transforming he lies down.
Yeah, effectively.
So I think they put more into him. I really like him. I'm not against the Optimal Optimus. I'm just like a little disappointed it's so conservative.
Yeah.
Um.
I think it was always going to be, though.
Yeah.
That was the case.
Yep. But one day everyone else will be angry about a toy.
Sure.
One day. That day is today.
Yeah, I can't say I'm kind of just mildly okay on it. It's not something I'm super into or super against. It just kind of exists.
I like the Optimus. I'd like to at least play with this toy.
Yeah, that would be a good way to get a hand feel, as other terrible people say.
But yeah, so moving on, we've got the last thing, which is the reveal of Titan class Predaking and the Predacons, and everyone except I think Toros or something like that is Tantrum's new name.
Oh,
everyone else has the same name. Tantrum gets renamed. But yeah, so we see the 5 Predacons in their robot and beast modes, and we see Predaking. Predaking looks pretty much like the old G1 toy, except he's got thinner hips, and there is a bit more transforming going on with Razorclaw's mane.
And the elongated ab section, which is really distracting to me.
He's got the thin... He's lithe.
Yeah.
Lithe.
Yeah.
And the actual individual toys, they are Voyager scale, and they are the G1 toys with a couple of extra joints.
Yep. Which is what they were always going to be. I mean, it's what it was for the Constructicons as well.
Yep. Except for Long Haul.
Yes, granted, thank you. Yeah.
Long Haul went, fuck that.
Yeah.
There are a few different design features, like the cats both have different, like, completely redone cat heads.
Wow.
Like the Razorclaw and Tantrum.
Mm-hmm.
Tantrum?
No, Tantrum's the
Rampage.
bull.
Rampage.
Yeah.
Their cat heads are completely restyled. Like there's no, like, I'm not saying there's reusing parts. I mean, like, they're just completely different, like, aesthetic. Let's see. Headstrong has he's then, like, there's almost no articulation to Headstrong, almost no articulation to Razorclaw in his beast mode. Rampage has a little bit. Tantrum has no articulation, has the absolute worst beast head I've seen in years.
Hang on, beast head. Which one did you say, Tantrum?
The bull.
Oh, it's great. It looks like a cow.
It looked like someone punched him in the face.
Yeah, it's a cartoon cow. It's great.
And Dive Bomb. What is Dive Bomb in beast mode, Andy?
In beast mode, he's a bird that's having to carry around a lot on his backpack.
Yeah. The robot modes are basically more articulated versions. I think Razorclaw and Rampage and Dive Bomb, I think they pull off the robot modes fairly well. Headstrong, I think, is kind of the runaway success of the robot modes.
Yeah, he's surprisingly decent looking, yeah.
And Tantrum continues his trend of being kind of shit.
What, you mean for his robot mode?
I don't like it.
What don't you like about the robot mode, then? Because it just looks like Tantrum to me.
Yeah, it looks like it doesn't have any articulation, but it clearly does. Also, his arms are so tiny.
They are small. That's fair.
But did you know, Andy, that this toy has pissed off everyone?
Why? I didn't, because I didn't know that at all, to be honest. And that's not even sarcasm. I literally didn't.
No, people are not happy. A lot of people, at least, quite vocal people, aren't happy with these. I'm sure plenty of people are. But it's 2G1. Like, people are, like, I saw someone say, like, looking more at it, the beast mode become increasingly butt ugly. There's no creativity. There's none of the wisdom learned from the classics. There's no engineering improvements. It's just a toy I had when I was younger. Why do you got to be trapped in the 80s? There have been so many Hasbro is living in the 1980s memes going around.
Right.
That I put a thing like, and I cited the Dinobots, and everyone told me I was wrong.
What about Overlord? I love him, but what about Overlord? What about Six Shot? Blitzwing's not a good example. Octane, I say, isn't a good example either. But
like, interesting. Titan's Return has like a half and half mix.
Yeah, it's a weird blend, like you say.
But I have been like, I mean, I like that Six Shot. I think he looks good, but I'd also say, like, I'm disappointed he's just an articulated toy.
Yeah.
Of the old toy. I like the clones. No interest in them. Because they're just the old toy with joints.
Do you think they got a little bit... I don't want to say lazy because it seems mean, but it does kind of feel that way closer to the end of the line.
They're saying that what they're doing is trying to appeal to us.
Okay.
Because we've been... And, like, I've suspected for a while that there's a bit of watching the third-party market.
Oh,
but
yeah.
if you watch the fandom, the thing that has been very prominent in recent years is it must be G1.
Yeah.
Like, it must be the G1 toy I thought I had when I was a child. Or the design from the show or whatever. It has to be lifting off that. People haven't been asking for creativity. Like, I think as individual toys, most of these are fine. I mean, like, I'm not crazy about Dive Bomb and I'm not crazy about Tantrum. And I think Predaking is solid enough. He's got some weird aesthetic stuff going on in his waist and crotch, but I think he works well enough. But I have been saying for years, at least 2 years, that I would rather see an increase in the classic style.
Yeah.
And it is slightly hilarious to me after going on like the Dinobots. I get why you want them this way, but the idea of doing a 1980s dinosaur in 2018 when there's better designs for these characters that you don't have to make up is just bizarre to me.
Yeah.
And it is bizarre to me. Like, they're fun toys, but it's still weird. And I am having a wee bit of schadenfreude as people are getting really annoyed about the Predacons not, looking modernized and like real animals.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh,
what do you mean
want.
real animals though?
Like, well, bluntly, the Voyager engineering is probably there considering how simple the transformation is.
Yeah.
You could make them look less. You could make Headstrong look less like a brick on legs.
Oh right,
Like,
I see what you're saying. I thought you meant like Beast Wars make them look like real animals. I see. It's just like mix them up and make them not look like lumps of plastic in a sense.
Razor Claw could pose in his cat mode, say.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Which he can't do.
No.
So yeah, it's interesting to me. But like the toys themselves, forget about the politics behind it all. I think they turned out fairly well. I prefer Devastator, I think, in terms of the overall engineering of the combined form. But I think these guys look way better than the individual Constructicons.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. That was going to be my main point, because they are a lot better individually, but I don't think they're as good of a combined form. Though I think the individual robots still have proportion issues, like the head on Razorclaw, it looks too long. Like it's been stretched than it should have been.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, and it looks like they're using a lot of the Combiner Wars. You put the thigh into the shin, kind of compacting the legs that way on that kind of hinge, if you know what I mean. It looks like a lot of them have that, which is a bit of a shame. I think it looks okay. I'd want to display them as a team rather than a combiner.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm wondering it'll happen. There'll be a third-party company to come out and tweak things on these things anyway. To what extent, who knows? I mean, for a fact, we'll have better hands. I've got to say the hands for him are very poo.
They're very plain, like weirdly plain. They're not as good as the Devastator ones were.
They don't seem to be. And the fact that they don't have, like, even rounded off nubs for his knuckles, I guess because it's a, in quotations, health hazard or something. But that's like, someone will see that and the third party will go, posable fingers, better looking hands, better wrist articulation, knuckle duster punching.
Also, no sword. He's got combined gun. He's got gun weapons, but no sword.
No sword for any of the individual Predacons. That was their
weird
thing.
To me, but yeah. Honestly, I am interested in these guys, but I'm interested in the team, which is like I'm very like it's a combiner. You're kind of usually after the combiner, but and especially since I wouldn't say the Predacons have much in the way of personality, any of them, except for the time Dive Bomb decided to call Dive Bomb wasn't called Dive Bomb. Swoop was Dive Bomb, but now he's Dive Bomb.
Well, what about what that episode where Springer rode Razorclaw as a knight? Oh
yeah, and that time Razorclaw showed up in Transtech.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Being Leo Breaker.
Yep.
But for a guy who's all about character for the individual figures, for the robot modes, I would be interested in picking them up. Less so the animal modes, but the robot modes do kind of work for me for the most part. And then there's Tantrum.
Yeah.
It's like the red-headed stepchild, literally.
I don't think I mind him as much as you do, but he suffers the most out of all of them.
I've been stung by a bee, guys. My lips are swelling.
Yes, he's a cow that ate a bee, like those poor dogs. That's totally what it is. Oh man.
Oh dear.
Oh, hang on. I've just saw a picture of the back of one of the limbs. Let me see if I can send it to you because it looks messy to say the least. Here it
could you,
is.
without wanting to be that guy, how do you make that messy? It's not messy.
How do you make this messy, Mikey?
Open sesame as it loads and loads and loads. Hello. Oh my god.
There's the reaction. How do you make it messy, Mikey?
The hell is that?
That seems to be an entire limb hanging off the back of Tantrum, I think it is.
Headstrong.
Oh, Headstrong, my bad. And I don't know
So-
if that's attached to the toy. It can't be attached to the toy all the time, right?
It is, because his head's resting on the hinge at the back of it.
So what we're seeing is we're seeing the back of Headstrong and whoever it is, and it seems to have the entire thigh and hip of Predaking on his back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Wasn't expecting that.
No, I'm gonna have a quick look because I closed these images down because I thought we were done. I'm gonna
Me too.
I'm gonna have a look at the images of these guys and see if there's
see.
nothing hanging in between the legs. Oh no, there is. You can just see it below the crotch on some of the images of Tantrum. Oh dear.
Oh. But hang on, let's look at the beast mode and see if I can see him there.
Yes, you know the cow picture.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
no. That's why they look like giant bricks, Mikey.
Because they are, Andy.
Yeah, because the joint's
they're-
hiding under them or in
they're-
them.
Oh, let's look at Rampage and Dive Bomb. All right, there's a sideways pic of Rampage in his cat mode. I don't think there's anything super. Oh no, he does have he's got a backpack too. Look at Rampage. There's a robot mode picture of him from the side. Look at his back.
I can see what those two bits are. They are the side parts of the chest.
Yeah.
they
And
connect.
Dive Bomb.
Oh dear.
Dive Bomb's got it as well, but his wings are covering up part of it.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I'm far less interested in this figure now.
I'm still this is more interesting to me. It's just like what?
I don't
What?
want a toy with
Why?
these giant things hanging off of them.
This is how. Oh no! This is how they pulled off having them all in the same size scale.
All right.
Because if they didn't have these bits, Razor Claw would have to be bigger.
Yeah.
So Razor Claw would have to be like the old Ultras class or something like that.
Or they could have just done separate parts for the combinations.
No, Andy,
sequence.
part former is evil.
No. Okay.
Part forming is evil, Andy.
I'll go
It
home.
is the devil's work. It is the devil's work.
Oh.
I'm oddly enough, this suddenly ups their value for me because now they're just goofy.
Oh, see, it puts it down because, like I say, I don't want to have giant bits hanging off the robot modes, and that's how I'd have them displayed, and it would fucking annoy me.
I am actually slightly more into it. Just like it's goofy, the goof factor, Andy. You know me and goof. I do like my goof.
You do. You're our masochist.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
Oh, there. So yeah, that was Toyfair, Andy. What were your thoughts?
Up and down, I guess. It didn't help that for the most part we'd already seen a lot of shit anyway. At least the stuff I was interested in, we'd already seen. So nothing came as a huge surprise. I guess the best thing for me were the Prime Master Pretenders, I guess. Especially after the disappointment that was Predaking just now. What about you, Mikey?
Yeah, for me, I would say the Studio Series surprised me. Surprised me quite a bit. And I am more into a couple of the Cyberverse designs than you are.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it was a Toyfair that blew my mind. There was some we didn't mention it, but some Rescue Bot stuff. But it's just we've talked about most of it before. And there was an Optimus Primal Cyber Power of the Primes cartoon teaser trailer, which is his teaser poster, sorry, where his chest is on fire and he's screaming, and I'm just like, we all feel the same.
Yep.
Not your fault, Ron Perlman.
No.
But yeah, it wasn't a mind-blowing one. I think just because so much of Power of the Primes had already been revealed. Like, we knew Predaking was coming. We'd seen most of the Luxes. Like, the only new toy there was Nova Star. of the regular line, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm curious because we're up to I've checked. Apart from one figure, we're only up to wave 3 for the reveals, and we've still got spaces in wave 3.
Oh, really?
Like, we've still got a Voyager space. We've still got at least one deluxe. So there would be one leader, but they're re-releasing one of the Rodimuses. Or one of the Optimuses, I can't remember which. But we don't have anything for wave 4, but there is a wave 4 because Nova Star is from there.
Right.
So she's the only figure from that. And there's probably going to be a wave 5. So I'm very curious to see what they're going to do for Voyager and Leader.
Okay.
Like, I'm assuming Optimus is going to be repainted in something, but everyone's talking about because he fits into the gimmick. Actually, they both do. Will they do Detsaurus or Starsaber? We'd laugh, but they did do Overlord.
It's true.
And they did do Black Shadow.
Yeah, it's a little. I don't know, because after playing with Dave's, I would be a bit worried about them doing it because I didn't like playing with the Rodimus figure or with the Prime personally.
Oh, Optimus is like selling people. I'm surprised by that. I like the Orion on that, but I'm more interested in the Orion and that than the actual Optimus.
Yeah, it just didn't do it for me. I thought Prime as a combined entity was a pretty solid figure, but just playing with it, I wasn't too impressed, and I'm not a big fan of the Orion thing. I don't know.
But yeah. So wait and see.
Yeah. I think we should just wrap up the show then, Mikey, because we've gone on for a while, and we don't want to have people hanging around too long, and it's late for both of us at this point.
Yes.
So this is where we'll call the show to an end. So, Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo, on YouTube as GWolfie3. You can find me over in the Old House sometimes. You can find me on paleonerd.weebly.com. If you want to contact me for anything to do with the Moonbase 2, whether it's questions or queries or anything like that, you can email us on themoonbase2@gmail.com. I also run the Twitter for the Moonbase 2, and yeah, that's pretty active these days, so I usually respond within a day or two, so anything you want to ask me or put a question in to be read out in the show, feel free. And don't forget, up until like mid to late March, we're still accepting submissions for ideas for our 10th anniversary celebration in April.
Woo!
And since I don't have time, I'll just save this mostly for next week, but you should all go see Black Panther. It is the best Marvel movie in almost half a decade.
Oh, cool.
It is amazing. Andy.
Yes.
So little there is one line of bathos.
Oh, that's surprising.
And there is quite a bit of pathos.
Yes.
Best Marvel villain since Loki.
Cool.
Like Avengers Loki.
Yeah. So,
go see it. Just go see it. Trust me on this.
Neat.
Really, really liked it. Yeah, that's me, Andy. What about you?
You can find me on Twitter and Tumblr, CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums or on Twitter, iTunes, Tumblr, Facebook, Libsyn, and most of those RSS feeds that you know about already or probably do. You can also, if you want to support the show, head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2 and do $2 each month, and you'll get the extended version of From the Files of Teletron 2, which should be out some point, probably on Tuesday, because I gotta get it out soon. You'll get it.
Send the audio, but I'll send all that over at the same time.
Yeah, you get that a week early, and it's extended. And you'll also get Moonbase Woo Woo, which for this month is me and Jai talking about Thundercats 2011, which is up now, as far as I remember.
It's go, would you say?
What's that?
It's go.
It's a go.
Would you say it's go?
Yeah,
it's a go.
Thundercats ho. There you go. And if you want to see my nonsense and woo-woo, you can head over to the ccbunker.weebly.com. And I will quickly say that DBZ Fighters is a very, very fun game, and I want to buy it, but I will not pay full price for it. So I will have to wait. But I did do something foolish today, just as we were on the podcast, Mikey.
So did I.
What foolish thing did you do?
Spent money yesterday that I didn't have.
What money did you spend on?
I spent it on robots.
Oh, I spent mine on a model kit of Cell.
Ooh, the Figure Eye Standard?
That's right.
Good line, you'll like it.
Yeah, it looked neat. I was like, I don't know. And then I thought, well, I won't be spending fuck tons of money on the figure art, so how about £19 on a pretty big model kit? I'm like, okay, let's try that.
Honestly, the line is it's not as solid as figure art. It's like, you're playing with a model kit, but it does everything you want it to do.
Yeah, and it comes with effect parts, so I was like, yeah, okay, we'll give it a pop.
Yep. I kind of want to pick up one of the androids from that.
Yeah, I saw Cell and was like, well, he's my boy. And then I was like, ooh, they got my wife too. I'm going to have to grab 18 at some point.
Yep, it's getting bigger. That line's getting, like, they had a picture advertising, like, future stuff, and it's just like, they're going to do most of the Boo guys.
They need to get Android 21 in there as well, in Majin form.
Any form will do for Android 21.
Yeah, boy.
Lab coats, man. Client's background, lab coats.
She'll turn you into dessert and eat you.
She can turn me into anything she wants.
Oh, shit.
Have you seen some of those cutscenes? My God, that is just porn.
Yeah, I've tried to avoid most of them so I can enjoy it when I get the game.
All I'm going to say is the voice actress for English knows exactly what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing. I was watching the Team 4-Star playthrough for one of them a couple of days ago, and there's just a moment where they're just chatting. There's a line, and they all just at the one stop talking. And you just hear, "Is it getting warm in here?" But, yeah, I want to play it. I do. I will sort myself out at some point.
One day.
Fun day.
And we will see you next week, everybody.
Broly sucks.
You are now leaving